And we're back, and we're totally haven't been taking the piss out of the villain for the better part of, like, 2.5 weeks.
It's fine.
Listen, I made peace yesterday, like, during No Love War Extra, that was the last time I got to actively make fun of them. So I got it out of my system. I'm just like lampshading now that we've been doing it, though.
Okay, everybody, I took off the shirt that makes me weird, so I should be less weird now.
In this essay, Retro will explain.
Stop. You can't.
Just really hears.
We are back. We're here. We have beans, and we are queer.
That was kind of a rhyme. Like
it was a most rhyme. Mostly,
it was like a Hot
You
Wheels
fucking with
loopy
beans?
loop of a rhyme. Yeah, I like black beans.
I'm a queen beaner.
Like jelly bean. Wait.
I don't think I can.
We should do intros.
We should do intros.
We gotta get out of here.
The introer. I don't know what's happening.
Fucking hell.
Hey guys, I'm Retro Spectacles. I do things sometimes. You can find me on Blue Sky. That's the only place I'm at. I draw things sometimes. I'm Holly and Ryder. Hi.
You should draw more.
I'm trying.
You should stream. We'll get there.
Hey, Leah, it's your turn.
Hey, I'm Leah, aka Amusing Thalia. You can find me at my channel at Amusing Thalia, where I stream video games, usually with people here in this call, but also with some other friends. In addition to doing that, I also run another Suits game on my channel on Thursdays, most of the time, unless I have the day like I had on Thursday, where I was taking care of a cat for 8 hours. That was the thing. Other than that, you can find me around on these people's channels as I putz around hanging out with them, as well as maybe some other people's in the future. But that is that's really it for me now. Now I'm going to take the talking skulls, Skelly and Vaughn's, and I'm gonna put them behind my back, and I'm gonna make what, Skelly? I'm gonna make you choose which one's your skull.
That one.
Okay, well, you chose wrong. It is Vaughn's skull, but here you go.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Skelly Alpha. You can find me at Twitch and Blue Sky, and perhaps YouTube in the immediate future. And tomorrow's the big model debut, if I can get this thing finally where I want it. Then we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming with streaming and tabletop stuff, including tabletop on Tuesdays doing Paper Mario D&D. So look forward to that. And yeah, that's really it for me at the moment. I'll have the schedule out later this evening. I will pass the talking skull over to Punky.
Fuck. It's always when I'm looking for a graphic for my social posts. It always goes through. Hi everybody, I'm Punky. I finally stream on my own channel, twitch.tv/punky_o. I'm there every single day except for Thursdays and alternating Sundays. Today's one of those alternating Sundays, so don't look for me there because I'm here on Burnout Vaughn's channel every other Sunday instead of on my channel. I just said that. On Tuesdays, I stream, and then at the end of the stream, I'm going to be doing Cosmic Caper here again with Kelly and Leah and Vaughn and some other fun people. On Wednesdays, sometimes we do the Gunk Tank with Gaius Ghost Paws, where we swim the seas of Europa and usually get mauled horribly by hammerheads and quillfish. But then on every other Saturday, we do the Lost and the Found over on Tix Dixel's channel, where I play a now very openly angry and frustrated and done with everyone's shit kobold who's tired of being an anxious little bean and wants to just fuck shit up. Had my big moment yesterday where I raged. I humiliated an employer in front of his employees and a crowd of people. It was very good. We'll call it a punky dub. Otherwise, I do variety. I play Minecraft on a lot of those days. On Fridays, I do Signalis with Leah. It's freaking at Fridays. I'm probably gonna do Yuri stuff on that day going forward.
Oh yeah.
I do Minecraft. Yeah, I don't know. Just you should come hang out. It's cool vibes. People bully me. It's funny for them. And then I turn into a small little apple, and I'm not owned. And I'll give it to Vaughn.
Really quickly, Vaughn, a what sized apple punky?
You heard me when I said I'm tired. You heard me what I said. That tells you where I am right now. I had to put on. Listen, I stood up. We were not live. I put on a shirt that didn't make me weird anymore, but now I'm a little tired. And then I sat back down and we were live. So I've had to adjust to a whole new world so rapidly. I don't listen. You can't quote me on that. You can't use that against me in a federal court of law. Why? Because I said so. And also because I'm dismantling the system. There will be no federal courts of law.
But we can use it in the court of public opinion, which is basically Twitch.
Kind of.
I like you almost said that, Vaughn, like Morgan. You almost
Vaughn,
said it
I'm
like
pretty
Morgan.
sure-
Listen, okay, I don't control when I do Morgan, except when I see her on the screen. I can't help it. That being said, though, hi, you've already found me here, twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on Blue Sky and YouTube at Burnout Vaughn, over on Patreon at Burnout's Bar. Like it's been said, Tuesday we've got some more Paper Mario and the Cosmic Caper, which I might not have just, been planning for 2 weeks how to rob one guy in the time we had. So, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. But aside from that, following, we do not seem to have anything. I might be on some other streams depending on who's all around and who needs what done. But keep an eye out. But with that out of the way, it's now time for me to play our lovely theme song so we can get us started.
I think that's maybe a bit tense.
Welcome back.
Welcome
you.
back. Well, at the beginning of every session, because I assume we are back and ready to go, I would like to check in, as usual, with my heroes as to where they are at with their potential and with their advancements. Black Mirror, what's your potential and how many advancements?
2 advancements, 4 potential.
2 advancements, 4 potential. Writer.
Let's take a look. I am at, I think that's 3 advancements and 1 potential.
3 advancements, 1 potential. Spinner.
I am tied with Black Mirror at 4 potential, 2 advancements.
4, 2. And Zeit.
3 and 3.
3 potential, 3 advancements. For an advancement for both, or for potential, and which would lead to an advancement as far as I know, for both Black Mirror and Spinner, Would either of you like to volunteer to do a recap of last session? I know it's been a while, but it is a important potential for you two. So I will hostage this one.
I'm like eyeing Skelly tensely across the room.
If you want, you could give it a go.
I don't take notes, and I have ADHD, and I'm unmedicated, but I will try my goddamn best. I swear to God, I'll try my best. Let's see. Last session, Spinner Spinner had what I'll call a very measured and mature discussion with the rest of her team for sure. A big neon sign that says lying pointing at me right now. Spinner had it out with specifically Ryder after the scare that we had with a mysterious new assailant badly injuring Heatsink and Cool Flow. Is that their name?
Cold open.
Cold Open. Fuck, I was close.
You're all good. You're all good.
And damaging severely our base of operations. Also, kind of nailing S.U.I.T bad enough that his jacket stopped working. And Spinner, with a lot of pent-up anger and choosing certainly a place to put it all on Ryder, and we hashed it out. Kind of pivoting to get at Ryder by jabbing at Black Mirror for a second. And at the crest of the argument, she storms out with Zeitgeist, leaving the two of them alone at the base when a mysterious, I want to say faceless individual that had a cap with the shade kind of like obscuring their face enough that it was like hard to make it out. I kind of remember them like the Inkspot dude from Dr. Manhattan.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's a little bit more like this is a really specific poll, but has anyone here seen The Haunting of Bly Manor?
I have not.
No.
It's very Yuri coded horror, just for the record.
Well,
But it is more like they have some sunglasses on, and it's like the entire face is completely obscured in shadow, and the shades themselves are extremely reflective, as if they're absorbing all of the light, like as if all the light that would head towards them is being funneled towards the shades.
oh, that's cool. Okay. They had a briefcase and like a stun baton that was like very upsetting. I remember this specifically because Carbon tried to intercept them as they were trying to enter my Spinner's personal space in the hideout. And Carbon, in trying to intercept them, gets like blown back a number, like a degree of magnitude of feet, like out of essentially enough to exit the scene. So it's just Black Mirror and who we have affectionately been calling the Nobbler, but is certainly not their name. After discerning that they were a internal affairs agent for the very bad, no good time fascists that are intercepting our plane of existence, they pulled a doorknob out of their briefcase and put it in the ground, and then just kind of entered a door and left, which was weird and concerning, knowing that that thing's looking for me, but Spinner doesn't know that that thing's looking for me. Cut to Spinner and... Oh, no, not quite yet. Did you guys fight the Nobbler before or after you had your very nice conversation with Soup?
It was after. It was after. It was
Yeah.
when one of them... I specifically waited until that scene was finished, and one of them was leaving that scene for them to interact with him, who was inspecting both your and S.U.I.T.'s domiciles.
That's right. So prior to fighting this mysterious new adversary, Ryder and Black Mirror had a very nice conversation where Ryder kind of consoled Black Mirror. Black Mirror did so as well, and also whipped up, using her powers, a comfy little meal for Ryder of like a big bowl of miso soup and some coffee. And they had they were having a very delightful bonding time before one the Nobbler showed up. After that, we cut to Spinner and S.U.I.T.S. Very good, definitely okay, for sure, not bad time. Which, sorry, I have to yell at my cat because he's trying to break into his bag of food. I'm trying to give a recap, little man.
What a baby.
What a baby. I'm gonna pick him up and I'm gonna throw him into the sun. S.U.I.T.S and Spinner convene in what we'll call S.U.I.T.S r/male living space. Of a very fucked up basement in an apartment with like shipping not shipping yeah like not like the giant like shipping crates at docks, but like the little crates that like drinks and stuff come in, kind of stacked up as tables, and like a sort of falling apart pull out bed, and a folding chair for seating in the room. Spinner did hit him with the "you live like this," and then we kind of got down to we kind of let our walls down a little bit. S.U.I.T revealed some things about his power, how he got them, how everything works, and the fact that he's overworking himself to the nth degree, and super not taking care of himself. And Spinner opened up a little bit about her past and why she's kind of so spiky, and why she feels she is undeserving of being a hero or called such, and why she feels like even though she gets so much shit, she doesn't really ever try to stop it from happening, because on some level she thinks she really does deserve it. Sad. Why would I make such a sad character? Who knows? We close the scene with the two of them bonding, Spinner being like, "You're not fucking sleeping until I'm getting you food, because we both need to eat, and you haven't eaten a proper meal in I don't know how long." And I think that's where we're coming back, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think the last couple things we left off with was the internal affairs agent sort of appearing near the apartment where you two are, while Ryder, currently princess carrying the giant shark,
That's right.
is dashing around the city looking for wherever this mysterious individual could have gone. And for such an extensive recap, I would like you and Black Mirror to both gain uh, a potential so that you may level up your advancement.
Yippee!
Okay.
I'm
Uh,
picking
I
an
will.
ability that makes me never lose in anything again, just so you know.
Okay. How will that affect the game?
I win.
Okay. What does winning look? What does winning look like for you?
We don't have to keep doing this bit. I can't. I can't.
No,
keep
no, no.
doing
You're
it. I can't
trapped
keep
in the
doing-
bit now.
Fuck,
No, no,
fuck,
no.
fuck.
We'll move on. We'll move on. We'll move on. We will pick back up, I think, with nothing more fitting than I'll pass this to Z.I.T. Z.I.T, what, as the two of you kind of wrapped up the more intense parts of the conversations, what do you think the conversation would lean towards next? Like, what would you two be chatting about? Would it continue in that sort of heavy direction? Would you try to, knowing Z.I.T, would you try to like move on and distract the situation for something else? Would you try putting something on? What's going on? You tell me. It's your apartment.
I would say at this point, despite whatever he would try to do, I think Spinner is trying to force feed him carrots, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that sounds correct.
At this point, I would say he's probably trying to explain his, I believe it was called r/male living space. Just like, listen, consider if you came from where I came from in the future, this is considered like basically like a 5-star duplex. It just gestures out, like just the floor plan alone.
That doesn't make me feel better about it. What? That means the future really sucks.
Yes.
Aw, shit. Just eat. Stop making me feel like we're headed towards certain doom, and just eat these fucking vegetables, dude.
Hey, I told you this is one of the better timelines here. Is it, I just imagine they shove in another curd, and he's like, "Yeah, okay.
If this is one of the better timelines, then that means maybe you should be doing more to furnish your living space and actually feel like you're living in a place instead of just, I don't know, coming back and passing out in a basement.
I feel like you answered that question for yourself.
What do you mean? There was no answer there.
I mean, I'm not really living here so much, it's just crashing here.
Well, then you should start living here. Or start living somewhere. You need somewhere to live. You can't only be the embodiment of work. That's not good. Is someone knocking on your door?
At which
Is that-
point, Zeit will slow turn to Spinner. The only people who would come down here are people who would know that that door doesn't lock.
Huh.
Zeit will at this point try to see if he's got at least enough power to bring up his typical illusion of what his superhero outfit looks like.
I think
Mhm.
Spinner like puts a hand in front of you so that you like stop getting up and kind of like tries to like and just goes towards the door and like opens it a crack to like peek out.
Do
It's
you
just
have do you have a keyhole, or is it like one of those or do you have a peephole, or is it one of those like latch lock situations?
I want to say this is a typical like duplex, like unfurnished basement that was not meant to be a living space because they weren't like putting down floors or anything, and he just kind of made it. So that's just a regular ass door.
So it would be one of those like chain latches. So you kind of like
Yeah.
chink, and open, and you see a maybe 5-7 foot tall individual. The hair color is hard to tell, but it looks darker brown, black maybe. The face is odd, as it is completely enveloped in shadow, save for the shades that are extremely bright. Other than that, they're in like a long, very ratty looking trench coat and uh, what looks reminiscent of just like a suit and tie style outfit, but the tie is loose, the style of it is a little odd, and they just look up towards you.
can I are you are you lost? Can I help you with something?
They pull up that little like baton thingy that I described earlier.
Mhm.
It is like a sleek black rod with sort of LED like lights kind of stripping across it, and they kind of flash in various unisons. Facing towards them there's a tiny little like rectangle that's almost like a screen reader or something like that. And
Mhm.
as they pull it up, they sort of wave it in front of the door, kind of facing towards you. It makes and like they're like reading something off that little rectangle.
The noise that you made me think that the phone was going boop, 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 um I think Spinner is still looking and is like, do I need to sign? I'm not really good at it. I haven't done it in a while. Can I get you like something to read? I can Are you like are you from Masks? I'm not. I haven't
They
met
finish
before.
reading the thing, and then they kind of pull it down, so they look back up at you, and they give you like the 1 minute thing.
Oh,
Before they pull open their jacket. You want to keep talking? Go ahead.
I mean, no, I mean it's okay. You need 1 minute, so you take that. I think I turn Spinner turns around and looks at Zeit and kind of gives a like a shrug, like, and then mouths like, I don't know who this is. I think they're from Masks.
Do you shut the door or do you keep it open waiting?
No, the door is like a little open, but she's not like opening it more, and she's like definitely
Mm-hmm.
keeping her body in front of it because she's like unsure.
They pull out a piece of paper that
Uh-huh.
we all would recognize as the one that was given by Black Mirror, and written on it is this. No, not the in this essay Retro will explain. I don't know why it copied that, but the part that, in this essay Retro will explain idea, but it reads this the latter half.
Oh boy. I think Spinner narrows her eyes and her expression and like demeanor definitely changes. But she looks at this dude and she's like, "Are you I just need a yes or a no cuz I got to be so real. It's been a real long fucking day. Are you here to fight or are you just here to actually investigate?"
They pull their head back a little bit, like almost like surprise. And then you watch him reach up and he kind of rubs his jaw a little bit. Like like definitely a sign of like it kind of does the like open jaw sort of like ah sort of motion. And then they
Right.
just shake their head and they point past you.
Okay, you're not here to fight. Are you here? You're here for that dude, or do you just want to? Okay, next. Sorry, this is confusing. Are you trying to take him somewhere? Do you just want to talk to him?
They shake their head. They shake their head once and then they nod their head once.
So
So
you just
shake
want.
then nod.
So you just want to talk to. All right. Look, you know that I know who your people are, and
They
I
nod.
know that you know that we don't play nice.
They nod.
As aforementioned, I've had a very fucking long day. It seems like
They
you've had a
nod.
very it seems like you've had a very long day.
They nod again.
I don't need to fight anybody. You don't need to fight anybody. And
They shake their head.
you're not trying to take this guy. As long as you just come in here and actually have a chat with us, don't do anything fucking weird. I don't care. The minute you do something weird, I'm not fighting you. We're just gone. I'm just gonna take him and we're just gonna go somewhere else.
He nods his
Sound
head.
good? Okay. I think Spinner looks around. She's like, "All right, Zite. Look, I know this is probably gonna seem bad, but this dude seems chill, and I don't really have enough energy to fight someone. So, like, I need us to just roll with this one, man. I really need us to just roll with this one."
Spinner, you weren't whispering. I heard the entire conversation. I'm assuming they don't talk.
I know. He's got some
Uh,
cool ass shades though, and she opens the door for him.
As they open the door, I think you would see them look towards you, and they open their mouth and they mouth words, but because of the way that like the shadow works, you can just tell that their mouth is moving. You can like even if you could read lips, it would be nearly impossible to kind of tell what they're saying.
Interesting.
And no sound comes out when they do so. But they do mouth something at you as they walk past. They look around and they immediately don't even start like go towards Zeit. Which Zeit is where? Is he like chilling on the couch or what? What's Zeit's vibe right now?
I would say Zeit's probably like about maybe a few steps behind Spinner, just kind of standing there like on edge, considering he doesn't know how much of his powers he could actually access at any given moment right now.
Uh, they kind of look around and they nod towards you, and then they pull out that little like sensor stick, and they start like doing scans. Like, did they turn it sideways and then kind of do around the room? And they kind of nod their head a little bit, almost like in a sort of relieved manner, where they then walk over towards a clear surface, like the top of a table or the top of a chair or the top of a desk or a bench or a stool or something like that. And they set their briefcase down and they go through like a little like numerical lock thing, and and they flick the latches open, and you see like the knobs as previously described, the different door handles that are all set in their own little places. And he actually lifts out the foam that's holding one of them, and beneath that set is a small like box where he pulls out a very specific looking door handle. And this one it's not even really quite a door handle in what you would traditionally think of them. If you've ever seen those little like latches that are used as kind of door handles where it just sort of like slide and then locks and then you have to press it and like slide it. It's like a sliding door opener. And takes it out, sets it on the floor, and as they open, it it almost opens to just sort of a Zeit, you would recognize it almost immediately. It's a sort of multicolor flashing series of lights on the other side of this that looks very similar to your mimetic jacket when it's working properly. And as this sort of like small, almost like porthole is slid open, there is like a pressure that affects the room. All of you feel this sort of maybe the two of you feel this maybe sort of like wave of nausea for a second. And how observant are the two of you?
I think especially given I think like when comfortable, Spinner is maybe not very observant aside from
Mm-hmm.
like her friends' expressions. I think when uncomfortable, she is like classic trauma moment. She's like extremely overly observant of everything, perhaps to like her detriment.
Yeah. You you are pretty observant. Would you have had TV? I kind of asked this before, but would double checking? Would either of you have had TV on while you were chatting, or would you have just been chatting?
We were just chatting. I don't remember if I established last time if he had
Yeah,
a TV or not.
I was about
yeah,
to say I think Spinner
yeah.
would put a TV on, but I don't think Sight has one.
So Spinner, you kind of as this sort of wave, almost like this. It's almost like a momentum feeling, like you're like if you were moving really fast and then you suddenly stop. There's that sort of like flipping that your stomach does
Mm-hmm.
of like ooh, sudden change in momentum. A very similar feeling to that. And as you like kind of like take a look around, everything still seems almost exactly the way it was. Though you look outside and there actually this is another question because of how male living spaces. Is there even a window that points outside?
There's probably one of those like small square windows that like looks out onto
Mm-hmm.
street level because he's already below street level.
Mm-hmm. You can't help but sort of like look outside. Maybe Spinner because you're like you know worried about maybe someone looking in or something like that. And I'll I think this is a fun way to do this. I will drop what it is that you figure out, and you tell me what it is that tells you that you figured this out. Because think I think you are able to determine that somehow time has stopped.
Um, I think I really think it is kind of I don't think she figures out exactly that time has stopped initially. I think you explain that momentum feeling of like stopping, and I don't even think she like parses it that much, but I think she understands that like intuitively something very bizarre is going on, maybe not wrong, but definitely very bizarre. I think like she also, not that she trusts this individual, but she can tell that they at least share the common ground of like it's been a long fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
Um and she feels like they're on the level of like not wanting to do a weird thing that's going to make them put more effort into like having a problem. So I think she's like, okay, they don't think that this is a weird thing that's gonna make me bug the fuck out. So then what's going on? And like kind of staring at the window for a second, I think she doesn't see any cars pass, and that feels weird to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she kind of maybe doesn't definitely piece it together, but it's like it's like in her head, especially since she knows Zeit is from the future, and she's just it just makes sense to her that weird like movie style time bullshit might happen.
And so you have that. It's more like the inkling. You're like, what is going? Like,
Yeah.
so more of a sensation that something odd is feeling. Zeitgeist. I don't think I even need to. I don't think there's a similar moment because I think you have felt what a halted time stream feels like before, because it is very similar to what you felt right before you were shunted to where you are now.
Mm-hmm.
The individual almost seems to breathe out a sigh of relief, where they reach up and then take the glasses off, and you can see their face properly underneath it. They're big circles under the eyes. They look tired. He looks kind of uh maybe a bit gaunt and like worn out, as if he hasn't eaten super well. And he takes a deep breath. So may I sit?
I mean, I can understand you now. So whatever you did probably helped with that. I'm guessing it had some weird timey-wimey bullshit. I don't really know. Look, you're still not here to fight, yeah?
No fighting. I'm not really much of a combatant.
All right, yeah, you can. I mean, it's not my place, so it's not my place to answer. And I look over at Zeit.
I mean, pull up a crate. He just gestures towards an upside down, like, milk crate.
Walks over, slides it, and then sits down. So, can I just ask you a few questions? Looks to the two of you, and that is where we're going to cut to Ryder. Ryder,
Yeah.
I would like you to roll me a use your powers.
Yippee! I love using my powers.
I just want to know. You think my wife's hot?
What do you think
Not
of
now.
my wife?
Not now.
I'm
Apologize.
definitely leaning into Columbo way. I'm definitely leaning into Columbo, but there is a little. I'm trying to go a little bit away from the full on. So just the one more question.
I
I'm sorry.
like the voice. I like the voice. I just had to. I heard you do the voice, and in my head, I immediately let me ask you a few questions. What do you think
What do you
about
think of my wife?
No, I heard the. Let me ask a few questions. My brain just went. So, if one guy killed another guy on the moon with a rock, would that be fucked up?
Okay.
This would be unleash your powers.
Yeah. I wanted to ask. I have like, I guess like a special move I can do
Yeah.
where once per session I can affirm my heroic or secret identity to switch my mundane with one of my things.
Yes. Yeah.
Is this a moment where like I could affirm my heroic identity because of like what I'm doing right now?
Yes, I absolutely think so. With what we have talked about in regards to your heroic identity and the character, I think yeah.
Okay, so that means this will have a +3 to it.
Yeah, because you're swapping your freak and
yeah.
your
mundane. Yeah.
Mundane. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think I can just add the 3. This. Holy shit!
What was that? 15 kapow.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, so we got a kapow on that. So unleash your powers. So this is overcoming an obstacle specifically. I think we've figured out what the obstacle is.
Yeah.
It is not only stable and indefinite. You also don't have to mark a condition. So I'm gonna give this to you because Momo, I know how much you love to cook on this kind of thing. Describe what it is like for Ryder when you begin moving so fast that while time is still around you, you can move.
Um, I think because of just how fast Holly is, um, the noise around her is always louder. Everything is so, it's like just this cacophony of noise that she's kind of just had to get used to. Um, but in that moment when she is fast enough, it's just nothing. It's just peace and quiet. It's like being in her element. It's like jumping into the water and like finally not hearing anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just because it's not just like her body that's faster, it's everything about her. So her eyes are darting everywhere, just looking in every space, waiting for like the slightest twitch or noise or anything that could like dictate where we need to go with our with the big shark friend in my body. Almost like I'm just like sweating. And like the moment that any part of him moves in a way that feels irregular, I'm just moving in that direction.
And I think that's what causes you to kind of skid to a stop, is you stop hearing things, and the individual you're carrying stops having those little movements. And so you get worried for a second. But when you look up, they're like in the middle of like mouthing something, and their like fin arm is moving up, but it's frozen there. You kind of furrow your brow, slightly confused maybe for a second, before you look over and you see someone like starting their car, and the light from the like car is moving outwards, like the light from the floodlights from its car lights, is moving out, and is hasn't finished expanding and brightening up the street like it should. Light should be instantaneous, but you see the glow, it stopped maybe a third of the way out of that emanation. You look up, a bird is mid-air, wings lifted up, and you realize time around you has stopped. But you can still move.
I can still move. Oh boy. Huh. Okay. Immediately clocking that my friend can't help me anymore. Is there any like resistance? Can I still move with him in my arms?
With your 15 kapow, you can still interact with the world around you. It is
Okay.
as if time has stopped and you are just it is the Quicksilver scene.
Yes. Okay.
Except for things are frozen, not moving really slowly.
Okay. Then if time around me has stopped, then I feel like that means it's even easier for me to just do what I was already doing. I think I'm gonna find like a safe place to put my friend down.
You just set him down like on the
Yeah.
sidewalk nearby. I honestly,
Yeah.
with your speed and with everything frozen around you could probably zip him back to the Vigilante House and then return here.
Honestly, I think I'll just like leave a note saying I'll get you some food later, buddy. Or you can eat someone else later on.
However, with the directions he had already given you, you are able to cut where you were when time froze. You were closing in on this position through smell, and you realize you are near where Spinner and Zeitgeist tend to frequent. You're near the area where the two of them operate. And you're starting to, I think you, without any other checks, are able to kind of put together where you were headed towards. Like with what this person was doing back at the Vigilante House, where you're heading now, you put together that they were looking for Spinner and...
Yeah, absolutely. then I think it just becomes like a concerted effort of looking for them um in like that specific area, I suppose.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a fly. Roll me an assess the situation check plus superior.
Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Scroll down to my thing so it's easier to find it. I have -2 in that right now.
Not
Very
checked.
good.
I need to get used to the roll to assess the situation is the proper vernacular.
So this might not go very well. Yep, there it is.
There it is. There it is. So I will give you, this is
Mhm.
the usual choice here, is you may either inflict a condition to still succeed, or I make a move. And anything can
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, I can mark a condition to just make it a 12. I think.
It doesn't make it a 12, it just makes it a success, like a normal success.
Yeah, it makes it a success. Well, it says for my I'll save you active move.
Oh, for all
Yeah.
save you. That is for defending something or someone.
That is defending someone? Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, to defend a loved one. I mean, yeah, that's fine.
You're not defending in this case. That is very
Yeah.
specifically for when you are
That's
doing
fair.
that. And yeah.
Okay. Then yeah.
In general, one of the basic
Mhm.
rules for the game is you may. Something I offer is one of the moves I can take is just inflict a condition. So
Yeah.
whenever you fail, I allow you to, rather than me just auto taking a move, is you may inflict a condition to still succeed.
I'll inflict guilty on myself.
Inflict guilty on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think is inflicting the guilty here? Is that conversation with Spinner that you had last?
Yeah. Definitely just the state that we left things on, and now they're just in trouble. Like now they're in a situation where like truly this person could do anything to them, and like there's very few people who could stop it.
Yeah,
who could
you
just
don't
like deal with the
really know.
facts.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't know if like I don't know how this time stopping works. I don't know if like everyone that is like associated them can act in it. I don't know if I'm the only one who can act in it because of how my powers work. So it's just I'm gritting my teeth really hard. I feel really bad.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case, when we return to the scene with S.U.I.T and Spinner, you may arrive when you feel it is narratively satisfying.
Okay.
So before we do that, I'm gonna go check on Black Mirror. Black Mirror. After everyone else leaves, you would have about 15 minutes before time stops. What does Black Mirror do during that time, as the vigilante house around you is kind of quiet? Your companions in Cold Open and your companion in Cold Open and the leader of the vigilante house, Heatsink, are both injured. There are medical personnel on the scene. Heatsink is in their private quarters. But Cold Open has actually been brought up to Uneven Flow's room, and Uneven Flow as well has taken over for a medical professional. And so, as opposed to the usual kind of music that's being blasted from Flo's room, there is a sort of dead silence that sits about the place. Spinner and Zeitgeist are gone. Ryder has left with Freddy Chomper. The only individual you know to be around is Party Animal, who probably at this point has retreated to their own quarters. And so I think around you is the silence of the vigilante house and just the gentle creaking of the plane behind you and above, just sort of swaying gently. probably leftover momentum from where Ryder impacted the wall.
She would probably make sure that there wasn't anything else like in the immediate area that would be a problem.
Mm-hmm. I think we rolled for this last time, and with your powers, I think it just makes sense that you're able to finish up the repairs relatively swiftly. We'll say you're wrapping up with that.
Yeah, if there's no other immediate major concerns, she would go about repairing in detail the safe house as best as she could.
So I thought what you meant was immediate concerns was repairing. What do you mean by immediate concerns then?
If there's not somebody else that suddenly comes out of the woodwork or like
Yeah,
it-
no one else seems to come immediately out of the woodwork. You kind of maybe wait for bated breath for a second. Is like someone gonna show up in the parking lot outside, like the fucking gangsters? Are we gonna have is there gonna be another attack from the IDNI? Like I think those like concerns flash through your mind, but after a minute or two of waiting, checking around, maybe you check some like sensors in Heatsink's office, like some of the cameras outside that like but nothing. Everything seems to be quiet for now.
otherwise she would just go about like reinforcing the place as best as she could.
Hmm. Would you reinforce it beyond just the way it was, or would you just repair?
It wouldn't be a bad idea to like make things out of more potent material.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Would you? This is an optional. Would you like to unleash your powers to reshape your environment around you?
I don't mind giving that a chance. Yeah.
Well, please roll to unleash your powers plus freak.
Let me change my name this time because I forgot last time. I'll take it.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. With a 13 full hit, you not only succeed, you don't have to mark a condition, it is not unstable or temporary. What additions do you make to the Vigilante House while you're here? While you have this moment? What does Black Mirror think of? What do you spend your time doing?
There's a part of me that wants to say like almost make some kind of layering within maybe like the concrete, like the new walls. Um, almost like I don't know what it's called, but there's like that shock absorbing polymer, like almost like a ballistic weave.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really good to like implant into the walls, maybe so they don't collapse on heavy impact immediately.
So Black Mirror, I don't know. I know Momo will say yes, but Skelly, are you familiar with My Hero Academia?
Yes, to some degree.
There is one of the characters who has a like creation ability. One of the things that they have to do is study the science so that they can actually make the chemical and uh, mechanical makeups of the things that they make. Is it a similar thing for Black Mirror, or is it instinctual?
Studying would be something that she would probably have to do,
Mm-hmm.
much like how
Mm-hmm.
you study like types of art and
Mm-hmm.
like how to draw. It would be similar of studying the material to be able to draw it correctly.
Do you have like a pad, or are you like book read? Do you have like books in your room with like of engineering and sciences and chemistry and physics and that kind of thing?
Yes, I don't think they're on her, but it definitely like when I was describing like bookcases and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
at her house, that would be the things that would be on it.
Yeah, okay, okay. So you kind of thinking back to these studies that you're doing, I think maybe you with your, artistic understanding of things, I think you maybe in your mind at this point, because sketching is dangerous for you, in your mind you sketch up some designs for the what it would look like internally, etc., and you go about for I would say these 15 minutes you get the outside walls reinforced with this very sturdy sort of layered a layering of materials with a shock absorbing polymer on the inside, and I would say it is definitely hard for something to something beyond normal superhuman strength. Like normal superhuman strength could probably not shatter through these walls nearly as easily. Maybe someone like party animal, there's a chance just because they are very physically strong beyond the normal for superhero strength, but it would be difficult even for them.
Okay, awesome. I would assume like when like sketching up ideas, she probably was using like a normal like sketch pad notebook.
Mhm.
Drawing on
Mhm.
paper and stuff is just fine for her. It's when you're
Mhm.
drawing something reflective when the
Yeah.
capabilities start
So
activating.
you probably pull out some of this, like you probably have architecture paper, right? Like the graphed architecture
Yeah, like
paper.
grid paper or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. To reflect this, I will actually add a second. Oop, that's wrong. I don't know why I did that. Okay, there we go. I will actually add a secondary like line outside of the Vigilante House on the Vigilante. I know y'all are on the outside map, but I'm adding a thing on the Vigilante House to represent this. As you go about protecting your new home. Is there any more you want with this scene, Black Mirror?
I think that's probably what she would be concentrating on up until the point where
Time
she is
freezes.
frozen in
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. What do we literally see as we sort of see you like stop, slow, and then freeze? What is the like actual image, like position we see Black Mirror in? As like when time freezes, what would we flash to Black Mirror in their like frozen position as?
Probably editing part of the side of the building, like interior walls, to be this new either patterning or layering. And
Mm-hmm.
most likely going up to and like touching the wall, making sure it feels correct. Because there's a lot of X factors to like drawing them correctly.
Yeah.
It could look
Yeah.
like it, but it might not be the material if it is drawn slightly incorrectly. So she's
Mm-hmm.
probably also going up making sure it has like the correct texture and everything.
Yeah.
And
I
that's probably
think.
where she would get
Go ahead.
frozen.
I think if this were like on a comic book page, we would see like a bunch of flashes, like the bird in mid-air, frozen, the lights from the car not fully extending, and I think we see Black Mirror putting their hand on a wall, kind of testing it with a piece of graph paper, and like a pencil or a pen falls out of your hand, and just sort of does a like whoo 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 spin through the air, and then slows to a stop midway through the air. And that is where we leave you for now, I think. Uh, and we are going to return to Spinner and Zeitgeist and this individual now in front of you. Zeitgeist, as they turn towards you, the sensation hits you, Zeitgeist. Zeitgeist, do you respond in any way?
I mean, at this point, I think Zeit's much more alert, especially since this guy now is just like he opened with asking questions, so Zeit's just not going to interrupt and try to gauge what's going on.
Questions I had for you. Do you know, did your, where you came from, did it happen to register, record timelines that you came from?
No.
You see, he reaches into his, like, long coat and he pulls out a little, notebook and it has, like, a little, like, pop-out pen from it. Licks the tip of it and begins sketching, like, not sketching, but, like, scribbling something down. Okay, do you happen to know whether or not from your original timeline, whether you traveled to the past, forward in time, or to an adjacent timeline?
As far as I know, it's inaccurate. basically, a lot of this is mimetic, just kind of put into my head by the cowl. But best way I could describe it is it severs my quantum tether to whatever timeline I'm in, and then it retethers me to the nearest one. Backwards, forwards in time, I don't get a real pick.
Their eyes kind of grow a little wide. Oh, okay. So you also. All right. Well, that does explain a few things. I thank you for answering the questions. I have a few more for you, but I figured maybe at this point you might have some questions for me. I figured this could be maybe a mutual beneficial exchange of information rather than merely one-sided.
All right. Why are you two? Why's your whole organization after? And he just gestures between Spinner and him. Us.
Hmm. It's a bit of a complicated question, you see. I'm actually trying to determine that myself. I I am not necessarily at liberty to fully explain the internal workings within the IDNI, as we tend to colloquialize ourselves. But I do think I should. It would be rude of me not to answer a few questions of yours. Um. Oh, Spinner, you just walk back into the room and see Zeitgeist and this individual talking. What were you off doing? Like, were you like grabbing water or going to the restroom? Like, what would you be walking in from?
I think Spinner was going to the restroom, but I also think she was kind of doing a little bit of like
A check, like check
science.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not a check around. I think this is one of the moments where we see like Spinner's nerdy side taking the better part of her.
Mm-hmm.
I think like it makes sense that time has stopped given that she knows that her friend is involved with um a lot of like timey-wimey bullshit, as she put it. But it doesn't make sense to her how that would work.
Uh-huh.
And I don't even think it's a thing she's began to look into. So she's just
Yeah.
kind of like poking around to see how things like work. Like, does a door still work properly? Like, do chairs still move? If she drops something, does it actually fall or does it like stay? So I think she's doing like little tiny tests on her way to the bathroom and then like coming back.
At one point, as you're like kind of moving around in the other room, you would have heard this individual kind of call towards you. A quick recommendation. I don't recommend you go outside the confines of this specific apartment, or else you may find yourself caught between a time dilation.
Oh, yeah, I'm just running to the bathroom, don't worry.
Sure, sure, sure. But it's kind of odd. Maybe it might have something to do with what that person called to you, but everything seems to function, or like doors seems to function normally. I like picking things up. Do you try to, after picking something up, do you try to drop it?
Not if it's gonna make a loud noise. Like if she would pick something up and drop it, it would be something like quiet or gentle.
Yeah, like a pen or something, or like a
Yeah.
cloth or something like that. As you like would drop it, it moves a little bit away from your hand, like falls, and then stops.
Huh. Well, that's huh. I think she just makes her way. She just makes her way back to the room.
Uh, Hello again. Spinner, I believe, is the term used for you, correct?
Yeah. What can we call you?
Whew. I tend not to give out my name for clandestine purposes. If someone were to take you and ask you questions about me, I figured it would be safest for you to know as little as possible. But you
All right then, buddy. Give me a fake name.
Okay. Why don't you call me Chris?
Sounds good, Chris. So, why are we here in a little time bubble?
Unfortunately, that's the only way I can communicate with people, effectively and efficiently. I understand there are people who are mute out there, and I respect the hell out of them. But I personally am not used to it. I spent my whole life being a bit of a talker, and when I lost the ability to communicate with people around me, it was a bit of a stumper. I had to find a way around it.
This this certainly is a way around it. Is Zite in the room with me still?
Oh yeah, he kind of, it was the situation where like they were talking and you kind of like left for a minute and then it came back, and you see the two of them kind of sitting across from each other.
Oh, I think she goes. Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't want Don't let me interrupt if you guys were in the middle of something, but also do let me interrupt if it was something that Zite didn't want to talk about. And I kind of look at Zite.
Nothing yet. Just being evasive about time stuff.
And she just kind of shrugs. And I think she'll like take a seat, and she like, I don't think she looks relaxed, but she also definitely is not like ready to fight. She's kind of like settled into it, like, this is weird but normal because my life is normally weird.
We were just opening up a line of communication between us. I'm gonna ask you a few questions, and you can ask me some questions. I figured it would be more beneficial for the group of us to exchange information rather than feel like it's flowing one way.
That makes sense. That makes me feel a little bit better about you than some of your, we'll call them coworkers.
Hey, that's a term I'll accept. So, do you have any questions?
I mean, I felt like I just asked a question, so I was waiting for you to go. But if I get another freebie, I'm gonna take it.
I asked a couple before you came in. Go ahead.
You, speaking about those coworkers, how you feel about them?
You actually see he kind of like looks around for a moment, like almost like looks over his shoulder. I gotta be a little bit careful about who I talk near. There are some individuals in my organization that can operate uh, despite what's currently happening around us. It's a little scary to feel like you might be able to be safe, but then at any point someone could be listening in. I'm sure you understand.
That
No, not
checks
really.
out.
It's just like
Oh,
Zite
I
just
guess not.
Zite just says Zite just says no, not really, because you remember Zite does a lot of needless live streaming, so he's pretty much broadcasting pretty regularly.
He kind of looks at you. Right, right. Your personality of some kind on the screens. You Zeitgeist, right? Do you mind not recording this conversation?
I don't even know how the logistics of that telecommunications bubble would actually work in here.
That's fair. That's fair. I just thought I'd ask rather than assume. Uh, but to answer your question, how do I feel about the people around me? It's a little bit complicated. Uh, you your timeline where you come from, Spinner, right? Why don't you tell me a little bit about it?
Oh, fuck. Um, man, I haven't. I haven't really thought about it in a while. Um, I don't know. I guess it was pretty much the same as here. Very similar, I would say. Except maybe we were like a hop and a skip forward technologically. Not too much though. We didn't have the whole, she like gestures around. There wasn't really a wash, and we hadn't really like manifested like super ego superpowers or whatever happened here.
Hmm. Well, to put it, let me explain. I don't mean to be nebulous. It's just a bit of a complicated question. Where I come from, where the ID&I comes from, there's not as much of a choice about where you work for, who you come from, that kind of thing. It's a bit easier to operate inside and outside of a system when there is an outside of a system to operate within. Uh, in my timeline, just about the only thing we can do to combat it is to, I suppose, and I don't love this term, but is to and try to enact change from within. I think that's about as diplomatic as I can put it.
I think Spinner squints, like she's sizing him up, and then I think she noticeably like relaxes a tiny bit. She goes, "Okay, yeah, no, that I wouldn't say I'm satisfied with that answer, but I think you did kind of hit the point that I was looking for."
I don't want to go on my whole sappy backstory as to why I do the things that I do. Just let me. I am here to learn exactly why the ID&I was brought here. And I think the two of you are two pieces of that puzzle.
I think Spinner furrows her brow at this, and she's like, "Wait, hold on. Like, only two pieces? Like, is there more? Is there what? Are there other people from other timelines here?"
Yes, actually. It's, the rift that happened during your test of some kind, I believe. From my looking at the mechanics over there, I was able to determine that that is what alerted the ID&I to uh, this uh, this exact speed or timeline within the overall and exacting universe that we all operate within. But it is in fact another individual that is what's kind of keeping them here. There's another person, actually another few people. You're not the only people who have time powers. In fact, there's another individual from this timeline who transported both to the past and then to the future, and that might be what they're more interested in than you two. You two have a sort of a signature that comes from a different timeline. As far as I can determine, the two of you seem to come from a different place. Now, interdimensional rifts are a nebulous sort of area for us to operate within. It's debatable whether or not that operates under our jurisdiction just due to the way that they can happen naturally. But timelines, that's where things get a little bit more up our alley. That's where I sort of come in. I have a bit of a specialty on working with timelines, and the two of you have piqued my interest quite a bit.
Good, bad.
And neither good nor bad. It depends on you and how you're using it. You see, I personally operate with a you gotta use what you got sort of mentality. Now, the ID&I doesn't typically have such a lenient view on things, and that's where we tend to sort of have some friction between how I operate and how the enforcement squad operates. I take it that's who you've been primarily dealing with.
Gonna be real with you. Not really sure who we've been dealing with. I've just been punching first and asking questions later.
I don't blame
Yeah,
you. Go ahead.
yeah, I don't know how much enforcement goes into attacking civilians in a random apartment complex.
Bingo.
He does sort of a like, yeah, sort of sound, and he kind of puts a hand outward. That sounds like them. See, here's the worry that you two may be superfluous to the situation, and it may be a bit unfortunate that you brought your the IDNI here, because after arriving here, it seems that they've determined that where we are now on your timeline is not the origin point of the broken time continuum. That it's actually earlier on in this universe's time, which presents a big problem for you all. Because by that technicality, to the enforcement squad, no one in this current timeline exists. That anyone after the break in the time continuum is merely auxiliary to the situation and are considered expendable, and that until time is returned back to where the continuum broke, they can kind of have free reign on the situation. I'm still trying to track down the individual who broke the time continuum here. Looks like neither of you are it.
Kind of wild anyone would consider anyone expendable under any circumstance now.
Not where I come from.
I think maybe we can relate on that. See, the way that they think about it is that if the timeline were returned to the place in the time continuum where the split broke, no one in this timeline would exist regardless. So they're all not considered people by the legal documenting that operates within the IDNI. I think you see the problem.
I think I do see the problem, and I don't need to ask this question, but I do need to ask this question. Do you think they're people?
I would be a bit hypocritical if I didn't.
She relaxes a bit more. All right. Well, uh, I. Huh. And she looks over at Zeit, and she looks back at Chris, and she's like, I don't know that we're going to be able to, like. I don't think we have any information on whoever the hell else is, you know,
Kind of
disrupting
figured
the
as much.
timeline.
Let me put it like this. If they get their way, the only thing that will be left from this timeline are the individuals like whoever I'm looking for, you two, and myself that can jump in and out of time streams. Individuals they consider useful to their cause. And they would have you working for them. So if you don't want to work for the IDNI and destroy the timeline you exist in, I would encourage you to continue fostering a physical defense against anyone who would accost you. It's, again, about as diplomatic as I can be.
He leans forward in her chair a little bit, and she looks at Zeit, and she goes, I think you'll trust me on this one, Zeit. And then she looks over at Chris, and she goes, look, I got no beef with you. I need to make something very fucking clear right now. Neither of us are ever going to work for the IDNI, no matter how this shit shakes out. So that means either we fail and I die, or we don't fail and we figure out whoever the fuck is messing up the timeline and we deal with it. I don't come from your time. I don't come from your place. I don't really know your circumstances or how you wound up there. But I do know that I, under no circumstances, am going to cow to some. She like waves her hand in the air. Interdimensional fucking fascist system. No matter how precarious that balance is. I recognize I can't take down a whole system all on my own, but I also recognize that I'm not going to live to see myself become a part of it either. Capiche?
His brow hardens, his jaw tightens, his lips purse. There is a strange mix of emotions that he is very clearly feeling before they nod their head. I respect that, and it's I just want you to know that it's a hard path you've put yourself on. Well, this other individual is, I'm not 100% sure they're gonna be as willing as you all are to fight against it. In my experience with time jumpers, they tend to be a bit more flighty than others. So if they leave, well, it's gonna be all on you all to keep this timeline intact. And in the interest of that, well, I don't know. You see him waffling on something.
She kind of shrugs and she's like, look, I don't know the responsibilities that come in line with keeping a timeline intact. Maybe this guy knows more about that. And she points at sight. She goes, but what I do know is that this guy also has been running himself ragged, working 25 hours a day, making up an invisible hour, I don't know where, not getting any sleep, not eating the way he should to take care of the people who are here. And me, I don't know. I save people when they need saving.
Roll me provoke someone. So plus superior.
Ouchie.
Ouchie. So that is a 5. So same thing as usual. Where you may mark a condition to have them. You may mark a condition to still get like the basic success on a hit on this, or you may fail and I make a move.
I'll take guilty, because I think as she's coming down from the adrenaline of before, still feeling bad about the conversation she had.
In which case, we will treat this as a normal hit. I will give you a choice. I'll give you. Yeah, I'll put it like this. You may either have them overreact and gain influence over them, or you gain influence over them and then immediately spend it to have them take an action that benefits you.
I would rather the latter.
The latter? They look at the two of you and they make another face. This one almost like a pained expression on their face, like a like an I shouldn't, like I'm doing something I'm probably going to regret, but he makes this choice regardless. Maybe seeing the guilt on your face. Okay, I might get in trouble for this, so only use this if you really need it. But if you need me for anything, questions or information, a lifeline, maybe access to a certain situation, I'll offer you this. And he reaches down to the suitcase and flicks the latches open. And he takes out 2 door handles and sets them on the table. And he's going to slide one of them towards you.
Yo, let's fucking go! Yeah, I think Spinner's gonna eye it like curiously for a second, then eye him. And then I think before grabbing it, she's gonna look at him and just be like, I don't. I just. I just want you to know I don't judge you. I judge the system you're in.
He again makes a very kind of pained expression. I I don't think it would be too bad if you did judge me, I'll be perfectly honest with you. But I appreciate the grace given.
And she grabs him and she goes, we do the best we can with what we got, yeah?
It's what I'm trying to do.
And she looks over at Zeit and she's like, I don't know, you've been pretty quiet and it feels like it's because you probably are familiar with stuff like this, but do you have any questions?
No, and I just time hop until I find some place that'll like not endanger me.
Yeah, I think that they've been looking for you for a while. There may or may not be a couple timelines that got burned because of you.
Spinner like narrows her eyes like at Sight, and she's just like, we'll talk about that later.
Oh, there's internal screaming going on right now. But either way, you said he put down 2 of the doorknobs.
The other one he actually picks up. These two are connected, by the way. And if you put that one in a wall, if you just place it, and he actually goes to a wall behind the group of you, and he just presses it against the wall, and a door, the line of a door appears in the wall. If you put it in a wall and then knock on it, I should get a signal from this one.
And Spinner shrugs and she goes, that's pretty handy. Well, Clary is looking at the screen at another player potentially looking for an in. As Spinner goes, I bet some of our friends will be happy to know that we have at least some sort of lifeline should we need it.
I wouldn't worry too much about that one. As they kind of look around the group of you, I am sorry to say I figured this would be a bit more beneficial to the group of us. I got some time time fluctuations from where you've been staying, some senses from the 2 of you. I thought maybe you'd answer some questions more for me, and I apologize for interrupting your evening. As I apologize for interrupting your evening, as it was a bit selfish of me. Before I leave, do you have any more questions for me? Unfortunately, I've got to get back to work.
Spinner just like shrugs and she looks over at Zeit.
Zeit's fine.
Yeah, no, I think we're good.
All right, well, the 2 of you take care. And clicks open the door and begins to open it. Oh, and just one more thing. Would you happen to, if you happen to come across another individual with time-like powers, would you mind just letting me know in some way?
You want me to use the door handle for that? You want me to just you want to have like a catchphrase?
I'll keep an eye on I'll keep an eye on your house, the place you stay at down in the Wash, I believe it's called. I'll keep an eye on there. If you got some information that you think might help me, would you mind just I don't know, what do you think would be a good way of letting me know without using the door? A door is for emergencies, preferably.
When you say house, you mean like my place or like the hideout?
Oh, the hideout, the vigilante place that you all got.
How about this? we oh man. And she's like running through like brass tacks in her, and she goes, "Okay, here's what we're gonna do. If I find information on this guy, I'm gonna put it in an orange, one of those orange manila folders, like the envelopes. You know the ones I'm talking about,
He
yeah."
kind of nod. He's just nodding.
She goes, "I'll get one of those. I'll put whatever I know in there, and I'm gonna leave it in my place." And then she gives him or her address.
He scribbles it down and goes, "I thank you very much. Your cooperation is very much appreciated. Zeitgeist, by the way, last question for you.
Mhm.
Is there anything you want me to tell your original timeline?"
Zyke gets this very hard to hard to parse look on his face, and then he's just like, "There's not anyone left that'll even know who I am." So
You see a look of deep pain cross his face that he actually reaches into his jacket, pulls out the shades, which do the like light thing to cover up his expression. "I think that's everything. Thank you for your time." And uh, Ryder, you hear the of a door
Mhm.
open and then the of a door shut, but it's not the front door.
Uh, I'll knock.
There's a pause before, after Chris leaves, you all hear once again coming from the front door.
Fucking, I. Did he forget? She looks over and says, "She's like, did he forget? Are you sure nobody like
J-
knocks before they come in?"
first, Zyke's just gonna reach out and just take the door handle from Spinner, and just try to pocket it. Just be like, "No, but it's one of those kind of nights." He's just gonna walk over, open it up. Ah,
Oh.
hi, Ryder.
Oh.
Hey. You guys okay?
Zyke will close the door, undo the latch, and open it back up. Yeah, just working on getting my suit working.
I heard everything. Side.
You hear a from behind as the sounds of the street
Mhm.
are return.
I think she kind of like flinches a little bit.
After being
yeah.
in silence for for a
Mhm.
bit, yeah, you're like, "Oh, okay."
Mhm. No, yeah,
Well,
I heard everything.
you're just gonna watch you just shrugs and sighs and well, tonight everything's a relative state of mind, much like time. So if you want to come in, I've got water and beer.
Beer's good. She'll like kind of hesitantly step in.
Spinner's just like very noticeably just kind of like avoiding eye contact and just sitting where she's sitting and just kind of like, yeah.
Happy that I didn't bring the company I intended to bring in initially.
You were gonna bring Freddy
Oh.
Freddy Chomper, weren't you?
Oh.
Yeah, there's a reason why I chose not to come inside.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
You didn't leave him in the Foggy Bottom, did you?
No, I left him somewhere I can go and get him. Maybe you want. Or you can go get something to eat.
No. I'm just making sure you won't try to eat anyone I know.
No. I should go and get him though. Are you guys okay here?
Should be.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay. If any more Columbo types show up, let me know.
So that's
And
what we're calling them now.
it sounds like it.
I mean, he was just a detective. You can't call every detective a Columbo type.
Can't
And to
call
be
every
fair,
token
Columbo
a
didn't work for
writer. And then she
fascists.
just zips away. Beer
What were
in
you
hand,
gonna
by
say,
the way.
Zay?
I absolutely took a beer.
What were you gonna say, Zay?
I was gonna say, Zeit just kind of like sighs, heads over to one of the milk crates to sit down, and he's just gonna ponder like the doorknob, considering the one thing he saw about it was the lights that seemed similar to his like suit, and the implications of possibly time travel having to do with the collective unconsciousness.
You're just thinking about that for a bit, and I think with Ryder zooming away, we're gonna kind of zoom out from this scene, and I will ask y'all before we completely leave it if there's any more hard or soft framing that any of the three of you want.
Hmm.
Then,
I,
oh, go ahead.
I would say, kind of following up on looking at that, Zeit would just attempt to like feel out with his powers in a way he hasn't tried to feel, and just try to see if he feels anyone through the collective unconsciousness that seems to be pushing at the way he typically does.
Ooh, okay. Extend your senses. Roll to do just that. Unleash your powers.
Okay. That's a 10.
That is a 10. Okay, no condition, and it is neither unstable or temporary. Let me ask you, because I do like to do this for this kind of role. Do you feel like, genuinely out of character, would you prefer to find something here, or do you want to keep this more mysterious at the moment?
I would say I'm fine with finding something but not getting a definitive answer.
Got it. You begin to reach out into the collective subconscious, and why don't you tell me about what this like feels like and looks like for you up until this point?
I would definitely say that's what people would think is it's 100% like sensory overload, but instead, because it's something that's like under the current of all human like consciousness, it's pretty much normal background noise that doesn't affect anyone. But he's just slightly more in tune to it in that like where you just hear way too many voices talking at once, but in a low undertone, he can kind of pick out different voices or hear certain things, as well as see like shapes turn into actual like images, whereas it'd just be a flow of like colors and regularly. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like he's just now in the mindset of, well, if you think about it, time is just a measure of space movement. So time is just a construct, just like how consciousness is a construct. So he's just gonna feel as there anyone who's trying to shape the collective unconsciousness in a way that would move space.
You begin to almost zoom out on your collective consciousness. The way that you've sort of engaged with it up till this point, it's almost like swimming through water. It's almost like diving into this endless sea of emotions and feelings and thoughts and consciousness. But as you start almost like let go, no longer trying to scoop from the sea or swim in it, as you just see kind of where it takes you, where it brings you, you almost seem to sense like a current to it, like a flow, a momentum, a movement, so to speak. Not unlike the flow of time. You don't know exactly what the flow of time feels like, other than how we exist in our presence every day to day, but the way that you can sort of feel these colors moving across you and moving through you, moving beyond you, the way that you can sort of see these sounds and the way that they ripple and echo through this mimetic space, it doesn't feel dissimilar to that. And as you feel that, as you move from dipping into it and pulling from it to feeling it more than anything else, you also feel the way others pull and tug at it, the way others dip their hands in and scoop and pour from it, sip from the waters, so to speak. And you maybe start to connect why this timeline speaks to you in the way that it does. Because humans on this timeline naturally connect to it. But I think in this moment, the thing you mainly learn is that they connect to it. That it is not born here. That it is something that in every timeline you've been to, you think it's the same flow of consciousness.
I'll say Psychic kind of, like, getting that sense after a while, he just kind of comes back in on himself and has a contemplative look on his face, but also, like, at least a little bit of a smirk in that he's thought of something that's no one else has thought of so far, and just starts kind of, like, lightly tossing the doorknob up and down in his hand.
And I think you tossing the doorknob up and down, unless Spinner, you want another moment. That's where we're gonna leave the group of you.
I think I have some words for Ryder still, but
Yeah,
not quite yet. I think not
quite yet.
So I think we're
Do you?
good.
Okay, you let me know now. Is that another scene you want? Do you want that to happen this evening? Another day, perhaps?
I think another scene. I can't quite say between this evening or another day, but just whenever the moment feels right, which is kind of
Yeah.
difficult because if the moment does feel right, then we really will have the day that
Mhm.
lasted 4 months. But
Yeah. I don't want to have necessarily the day that lasted for months. I have a plan for 1 week because I think we're gonna take a very quick break here. It's not like a halfway through break, then more like a 3/4 of the way through the session break. But I think we're gonna take a quick break here, which is why I want to check in to make sure that there aren't any moments before we leave. And we are gonna return back with Black Mirror. Black Mirror. When we come back from a quick break because I have to go to the restroom. I want you to think about for when we step away for a second. Who among anyone, it could be a member of your team or it could be someone else from the Vigilante House, who would you like a scene with? I want a Black Mirror moment, and I want you to think about that while we take a quick break here.
Okay.
drink the
All
water,
right.
stretch your legs, break some rules.
Drink your legs, stretch your water.
Yippee!
Well, I'm just sitting here as the guy who keeps connecting lines between multiple of his characters. This is my second character who's figured out how time works through the flow of motion. Ugh. But hey, Chad, I hope you're having a good time. Which we now know is all relative. Good to know, Vex. Yeah, no, it's becoming a running joke because in a different one of our games, one of the characters I was just mentioning has a connection to our Gothic Horror Domains of Dread game, in that both of them accidentally ended up having, a vampire arch nemesis. And it becomes one of those, if I had 2 nickels for it, it'd be weird situation.
Gotta have 1 or 3 nickels, not 2.
Yeah. Those are normal. Because if you just had a dime, you wouldn't need 2 nickels.
I would know all the kinds of things you pulled. Yes, I do, and I need to talk to you later this week on some of those things.
But hey, Alpha, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
I return.
Welcome back. Now I kind of want just something in university like come up where people are like, yeah, it is weird if someone has 2 nickels. But then I just remembered that, oh
considering
yeah, we
money
don't have
isn't a thing anymore,
Yeah.
it would be weird to have nickels in this setting.
I was just about to say. That's one of the fun parts about this setting is that you immediately think you have a grounding, then you remember, oh no, wait, this is a way better place than where we're at. Oh, if only I could think that way. Though I will step away at least for 1 second now that we've got at least 2 people here.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. How y'all doing, chat? No more money. No more money jokes. They're gone now.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm chilling.
Yo, big chile.
And I return.
Returneth.
Yee. Though now, after finding out so much about the ID and I, it's just like, wow. I almost feel like they should have found us sooner.
Well, I mean, they would have found us
Probably.
sooner if Columbo was to go around asking each and every one of them if they wanted to bow down on his wife.
Yeah.
Exactly. The joke has evolved.
Yeah.
We're really going places.
Yeah, Grava, sorry. These guys really do suck. Imagine a organization going to a place where they don't belong and then killing all the people there because they feel like they shouldn't exist. Crazy.
That's crazy. It's a good thing people don't do that in real life. Looks directly at the camera. It's a good thing that this is just a TTRPG.
Yeah, it's a good thing this is just a TTRPG. I that's why I intentionally chose the colors for the ID and I, blue and white, to be, agnostic of anything else.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like super not evocative of anything else.
Nothing. Exactly.
Anyway, Palestine forever, from the river to the sea. Fuck you, Israel.
Yep. Unrelated, by the way. Unrelated.
Unrelated. Unrelated.
Sometimes we. I was about to say, sometimes we let the completely correct intrusive thoughts win.
It's my brand. I'm never not gonna have my correct intrusive thoughts come out. It's always right to steal from grocery stores. Israel is a fascist state. Palestine should exist. Like, come on, ask me more divisive questions. I will give you the right answer that we all know is right. Most people are too afraid to say out loud on street.
You fucking with pineapple on pizza?
You know I'm fucking with pineapple on pizza. It's gotta be good quality pineapple. It's gotta be good quality ham and good quality pineapple, just like anything else. The problem is motherfuckers be putting like day-old fucking canned pineapples on pizza, and that shit tastes nasty.
Speaking of pineapple on pizza, Hawaii isn't a state and shouldn't be considered in the United States at all. Support Hawaiian independence. They've been fighting for 70 years.
Also, fuck Dole.
Also, fuck Dole.
Yeah.
Pineapple on pizza.
Also, happy Indigenous Peoples Day, everyone in Canada.
Oh
It's
yeah,
Indigenous Peoples
happy
Day.
Indigenous Peoples Day. I love that it's 2 days after Juneteenth.
Man, they really did make June. They were like, let's get all of them in June. So let's get all
They
of the
really
people
did,
who
yep.
aren't straight and aren't white.
It's
in
my
June.
month, motherfucker. It's my
I wish
month.
I really wanted to fucking lock down remembering which exact day Juneteenth is. For some reason, my brain keeps telling me it's the 17th. Like I don't know why.
I remember
I
because it's
keep like
June
right. It's the
and it ends
19th.
with the N, like June 19th.
Mhm.
That's how I kind of put it down.
Mhm.
I'm horrible with dates,
I
so
don't
I
know why
do
my
kind
brain
of feel you.
solidified it's the 17th
Same.
for some reason. Don't know why.
You can just be like,
can-
it's the. You can go. It's the last teenth. The last
The
teenth is
last
how I
teenth.
remember it.
That's pretty
That's
good. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I'm just so bad with dates in general. Like I forget my parents' birthday. I forget just about every holiday. I forget my I used to forget my birthday half the time. I now literally can't forget my birthday because I have 2 other people who have the same birthday that I stream with on that day that
Mhm.
will not let me
That's
forget.
really funny. That's really fun. Who shares a birthday with you?
Zan and Ray
That's
both have the same birthday as me.
crazy!
And
What
we
the
do
fuck?
we do like a 12-hour stream every April for the 3 of us.
Oh,
Sick.
that's so goated. I love that. I forgot how old I was for an entire year and regularly gave myself panic attacks because I thought I was older than I was, and I was like, time is moving too fast. And it's because time was in fact moving too fast. I made a mistake, and I was like, I have been thinking I was a year older than I actually was for like, this happened for like 3 years.
Oh no, I've had similar with me, but I at least have the advantage of I can have a hard reset. Just be like, listen, how old am I? What? Oh yeah, you were born in '90, so you just have to count up.
Mhm. Yeah, I always remember that I'm a year older than the current year. Is how I keep track of mine. Otherwise, I go insane.
Otherwise I'm also miserable with the dates, Leah. The only reason I remember Momo's birthday is because it shares a birthday with my dad. That's also how I remember my
I
dad's
forgot about
birthday.
that. I forgot about that. I was about to be like, I wonder who shares a birthday with me.
Punky time travel relevant to the game community. Yeah.
Do we have a Skelly back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Are we all here?
All right.
He made the
We
noise
good to
that
get
the
we good to
space
get back into it?
station lizard made. Wait.
Weh.
Yeah, I'm good.
In which case we will pick back up with Black Mirror. Black Mirror. Scene. Anything. And again, if you don't want to, if you don't think like one is very fitting here, or you feel like Black Mirror is a bit more disconnected and want to save it, you can feel free to say that.
I know she would be waiting to see if any of the team members come back and if there's any communications that return. Because I'm going to assume when time snaps back to normal, she did not notice anything happen.
It's almost unnoticeable for you, yeah. The
Okay.
only way you would notice something is a really quick question for Ryder. Would you have dropped Freddy Chomper back at the Vigilante House, or would you have left him somewhere on the way?
So I dropped him back there. Yeah.
Yeah. In which case, you would notice Black Mirror that, like, as you kind of go to pick up the pen that you dropped or pencil that you dropped, Freddy Chomper is just in the middle of the room, kind of go, "I'll get here. I'll get here."
Yeah, Black Mirror would probably like jump a little bit at that, not expecting somebody being in like the middle of the room when nobody was there like a second ago.
I'll get here. Feel. And just fish all over the floor.
Oh no.
Oh, buddy.
She just like reaches for the tablet.
But besides, I think Ryder would return relatively shortly after. So if you are waiting for a member of the team to return for a scene, Ryder, you may arrive when you feel would be appropriate.
It would be like as fast as possible. I think, like,
A few minutes later,
she.
you have a conversation with them. You maybe go grab something, and then you return. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think she
yeah.
got a coffee and then like came back.
Black Mirror's probably like trying not to look at it too much, but also like erasing a new addition to the floor.
So you return, Ryder, to Black Mirror, kind of fixing up the place. I think you notice the walls have been repaired. I think you notice maybe the brick or stone or concrete, whatever it is that the walls are made out of. I think they look a little bit more sturdy, like newer maybe than they did before. Place
Mhm.
looks good.
Huh. Uh, everything okay here?
I believe so. I think I've patched up pretty much everything. I've made small improvements to the wall structure as well. It should make it more hardy to sudden high velocity impacts.
Kind of coughs. That might be good. Um, I think you're obviously can tell that something is wrong. Um, time stopped?
Um, she does look a little confused, but then she says, "I did notice Freddy was suddenly in the middle of the room."
Yeah. Um, it wasn't for very long. Um, but our friends are okay. Um, and we might have maybe not someone on our side, but a way to get information. I still haven't really processed it myself yet. The moment I say that, can I check to see if I recorded it or not?
Yeah. So here's what I'm gonna say. With a
Yeah.
miss, I'm gonna make with a miss in this case, because it is just a luck check that I had you roll. It's not a move or
Mhm.
anything. I am gonna make a move, which is
Shit.
where is it really quickly? Oh, there it is. Complicate the situation. Which is just always a fun one that I like to take. And in this case, I'm going to have it be where when you play it, it is like all the sound plays at once. It is
Whoa.
going to take a tech expert to parse it apart.
Oh, like it's all recorded, but it's all in like the space of like a second.
Literally, yeah. Like it is massive. It is hyper condensed audio. You're going to need someone
Question.
to pick apart the audio like piece by piece. Yeah.
Can this is really stupid. Can I speed hear it? Can I process it?
You can.
Yeah.
You
Sick,
absolutely
sick.
can.
Awesome. Awesome. My
Yeah,
ears are
supersonic
fast.
ears. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Ear fast.
I can hear
Someone
fast,
want to
motherfucker.
No,
Okay, then what were you gonna say?
I was gonna imagine all you hear is, huh! Fascinating.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
That was the sound.
Yeah, the actual move I took is turn their move back on them, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense here.
I think we'll have to slow this down a lot. If we want it to be hearable. She just kind of like takes a sip from the coffee that she grabbed, and then passes one to Black Mirror.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
I could certainly use this.
I figured you might want it after the work.
If there's any other improvements you'd like around, I can quickly make them. Kind of puts my mind at ease getting some of this stuff done.
Soundproofing, maybe. Might be good.
I could whip up something very quick, and I can make something more elaborate later. Um, and she'll take out a tablet, and she'll start drawing the foam squares you mount on walls.
I knew it.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna use the tablet and just copy paste. And they're just gonna start a stack starting to appear.
Yeah, I
If we-
stare at my walls.
I was about to say, if we had an economy right now, you'd be ruining it, and I love it.
But it is like literally people like Black Mirror that make it so that a lot of that shit isn't necessary. Like people who
Yeah.
grow plants and that kind of thing. You know, that's why it doesn't really food doesn't really cost the way it does, etc.
Yeah. Like Shannon is wasn't with Mass. She was kind of like she had connections to Mass, but she was an infrastructure person. She wasn't really sitting out on missions.
Yep, you are here because of your functionality and proximity to the situation more than anything else. But regardless, yeah. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I think there's like a question that's been burning on Ryder's brain for a little bit. Can you like make things that you can wear? Like, can you make clothes?
Yes, I can certainly draw nice outfits and make them reality.
Have you thought about making yourself armor or something to protect yourself when we're out on the field?
She kind of like looks over herself. It's like, I've never really thought about that. I've never had to be on the field before.
It's something to think about, and I'm sure you'd make something that would look cool. That and, I mean, with how things are now, it might just be good to have something to protect yourself if you want. If you want, and she'll click the button on her belt and pass it over. You can look at this if you want. I don't use it in the same way that other people do, but it has the mechanisms in here to like make an outfit come out. I don't really use my old one anymore, so I it's just kind of for style. But if you look at, I imagine if you can look at the mechanism of it, you can probably figure out how to make something like it, yeah? If you wanted to make something more condensed.
I think so. I could probably make some kind of rudimentary bodysuit, something, I think.
Sparkle might have a better idea of, or at least give you a better idea of something more like that, considering how flashy he is in comparison to me.
I know I could always kick on some of the old sci-fi movies and things like that. That could potentially provide inspiration. If I draw it just like it is in the movies, it works just like in the movies. Weirdly enough.
That's cool.
I have to be careful drawing some of that stuff. I have gotten in trouble before. I remember once when I had just gotten my powers recently, I decided to draw a character's weapon from a sci-fi film, and it was in better interest that Mass confiscated it.
Huh. Well, I think if there was ever a time to do something a little bit more risque, it might be the time, especially with, keeping everyone safe.
In before Black Mirror mech suit.
Meanwhile, I was typing in chat, but I can't believe Black Mirror actually recreated the Dick Exploder 5000.
Oh my god. Oh no. The thought in my brain. It's like... I'll talk about it after stream. I'm going to talk about that one after stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, she'll just kind of like pass the belt over and be like, just send it over to me when you're done looking at it. I trust you with it, and my powers don't really work the same as everyone else's. Some of us have our powers like tied to the belt. It's a little different for me. So uh, don't worry about like me being vulnerable if I can't use it.
All right. I should be able to, if I can just study it over a night, I should be able to recreate it, how it looks, and theoretically it should function very similarly.
Nice.
I would like you to roll to unleash your powers and add a +1 to this as because of writer's assistance specifically.
Okay. Let's see, unleash powers.
Yep.
Alrighty. And
Come on, baby.
let's see. So I'll add a 1 to the situational
And a
bonus penalty.
situational bonus penalty. Yep, +1.
Okay.
Yes.
A
That'll be
9.
it.
I will. Considering it is a 9, I'll let you spend a writer. I'll let you spend an additional 1 from the team to make it a 10 if you'd like. Okay. In which case, I will ask one more time really quickly. Black Mirror, is there any other scenes you want to have with anyone here before we move on to what's next?
At the moment, no, there are scenes that I do want to have, but she wants to give those individuals time to recover from their injuries, at least a little bit more.
Yeah. So this is where we're going to move into a small bit of downtime, actually. Not a ton. I think I'm gonna put it like 3 or 4 days, actually. We'll call it 3 for now. I am gonna go down. I'm actually gonna go up the list of our players, and I'm going to ask you all. So during this downtime period, during this not exact downtime in like you would think in D&D, but like during this sort of like if you imagine in a comic book or in a superhero show, that sort of like montage of we're doing this thing, it is going to be a montage of you guys fighting against ID&I forces primarily. I think there might be like a couple frames of you guys fighting the loan sharks again, but it is primarily you guys establishing yourself as a team down here. I think the narratively, a lot of the like emotions and everything that have happened over the last day, etc., sort of manifest and reflect over this time period. And so we don't have to have like hard scenes. This is a lot of soft framing here, but I'm going to have each of you describe 2 panels that would be in this section for your hero. One bit of them doing something badass and awesome, either saving people or fighting villains, like something that you feel is like really either important to showcase with your character or important to showcase your character doing something that you feel is a cool moment for them. And then something contemplative. It could be a soft frame scene with another player. It could be a moment with another hero. It could be you looking into something and doing something kind of important and like more intelligent based, like if you're searching for information or that kind of thing. Are there any questions about this? You can also ask them when it comes to your turn, but I wanna ask if there are any questions preemptively. Okay, in that case, we'll start off with you, Zeitgeist.
Okay. For the
And actually, to
contemplative,
break this up a little bit, I'll let you pick one, and then we'll come back for your other one.
okay.
So we'll do 2 rounds of this.
I would say for his contemplative scene, there'd definitely be Zeitgeist like checking in on Heat Sink to make sure they're okay. And if and if they haven't woken up yet, he's probably sitting by their bed and just looking at the doorknob.
Yeah, I Heatsink does not wake up during this time period. This is a bit where you all are having to operate kind of by yourselves. And so that was actually going to be a question when I got to writer is how they think being team leader goes during this time period. But for you, I do love the idea of you just like being by Heatsink's bed, staring at this the handle of the door. Is there anything else you want for the contemplative scene? Like anything important you feel like is do we see maybe flashes of your previous timelines, or like of you going through things? Is it like dreams maybe of these previous like like what, anything else, or do you want to just leave it there? No right or wrong answer.
I would say there's probably like not to be shown visually. Well, in terms of seeing it visually, you would see that same moment when quote unquote Chris said, "Yeah, I think they've had to prune a few timelines because of you," like just kind of echoing in the background of his thoughts.
Yeah, we see that line maybe appear over and over again. They've had to burn a few times. They've had to burn a few timelines. Burn a few timelines. Just sort of hanging over you more than anything else. All right. Moving to Spinner. You can do either one first. You can do cool or contemplative. Doesn't it? There's no right or wrong answer there.
I think the contemplative one is Spinner like approaching the door to check on Heatsink and seeing Zay in there and not wanting to intrude, and then also kind of like getting in her own head that like somehow this is her fault for not being like more attentive or for not like paying more attention. And then like even in the moments when she does dismiss that kind of like stupid thought that it is her fault, it's just kind of like frustration because she acknowledges how like unfair and frustrating it is that she might have been able to get somewhere with Heatsink if this hadn't have happened. And then
Yeah.
it's like I wish I could still be ignorant and pretend like this was somehow my fault. So I'm just gonna pretend like that until that's all I think about.
I'm actually gonna set you up for something. I'd like you, because you're fairly attentive, and the two of you, I think maybe you would notice this together. So I think you, while you're kind of, I'll wait until see if anyone else interacts with Heatsink before I reveal that. Is there any more that you want for this contemplative scene?
No, I think that's about it. I think it's that, and then I think it's Spinner like against uh all prior instruction, going back to her home and just kind of like existing there for a little bit. Because the one benefit of having left that space at the beginning of the day for all of this like crazy shenanigans is that it's kind of untouched by the association of like the stress and like kind of fright of the last few days. And
Yeah.
there's something comfortable about the regular kind of oblivious like stresses of being home, of just like I gotta make dinner, I gotta take care of lasagna, I
I
gotta
think actually you come home. I think we see Spinner coming in the apartment. To you find the neighbor who you asked to take care of lasagna, like playing with lasagna in your apartment, like just kind of distracting them, and that sort of like as you come in, and maybe like the camera does like a pan where it's like in the room with the two of you to it pans outside through the window, and we just kind of see the two of you interact.
Yeah, I think so.
Uh, is there like an opening up to this person, or is it like, are you still kind of distant? Do we see?
I
Like,
think
is it
there's
sort of, is it one of those things where like through the window we see you like collapse in their arms and kind of cry and then like sit on the couch and watch something? Or is it like a, do we see you being distant even in this?
I think you see Spinner being distant, and then I think there's one of those shots where her neighbor turns around and is like grabbing mail for Spinner, grabbing
Mm-hmm.
something for lasagna, and Spinner like reaches up as if she's about to say something,
Uh-huh.
and then like puts her hand down and just kind of like looks down a little bit.
I think we see the neighbor sort of leaving the apartment, and before they leave, they sort of like, before the door is completely shut, they kind of hold it and like watch you for a second, and then the door shuts behind them.
As for cool, I think Spinner is like.
We'll get back to cool in a second. We're gonna do
Oh,
one at a
okay.
time.
Okay.
I want to. Yeah, I could give people a choice for each, and then writer. So writer for you, cool or contemplative?
Can you give me a rundown of like what the context is again? I just want to make sure I understand.
Yeah.
So I
It's about
spaced a little.
3 days, sort of downtime ish.
Mhm.
Heatsink is unconscious. You guys are. It's a mix between your cool scenes being like fighting ID&I,
Mhm.
investigating the situation, fighting the loan sharks, that sort of thing,
Mhm.
or the and the contemplative being anything like more emotional, maybe more like thought provoking, more like intelligent. I think maybe
Yeah.
some like if you wanted to lean into the investigative side, that could also work for contemplative or cool. Just kind of
Uh,
depends on how you want to play it. You kind of picking up what I'm putting down?
yeah. Um,
Okay.
I think um I think it's more contemplative probably.
Yeah.
I think at times Holly is very big picture. So I think in
Yeah.
other circumstances she would be just kind of constantly on patrol. Um, but I think due to conversations that have been had and due to the nature of heatsink, uh, I think she's staying pretty close to the hideout,
Yeah. That makes
and
sense.
to wherever heatsink is being taken care of. Um, I think it's just kind of constantly checking in on everyone. Um, I think she's wearing the helmet most of the time. I think typically, like around the hideout, she's usually not wearing the helmet.
Hmm.
Um, but I think she is now just kind of at the fact that she's not sleeping.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and just kind of like
Trying to hide that.
switching between shots of like sitting like beside Heatsink's bed, um, maybe sharing a coffee with Black Mirror, um, maybe having like kind of casual conversations with
Zeitgeist
with Sight.
is by the bed a lot. Yeah. So it makes sense
Yeah,
the two of you would just kind of chat.
yeah, and then just kind of having like very brief like waves and highs
Yeah.
with Spinner, but nothing like tangible.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it's mostly it would be probably very professional between you two during these 3 days.
yeah,
I'd say it'd be
absolutely.
very professional, but also like there are a couple times where Spinner just ignores you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes
absolutely.
sense. That makes sense. All right. Well, we'll get to your cool moment here in a second. I think it
Mhm.
seems like we're doing a contemplative then cool. So Black
Yeah.
Mirror, if you want to keep that train going, you can do contemplative, or you can start on the cool, and then we'll end with your contemplative scene.
She would probably move to work on the ideas of like the soup and the suit and other improvements to do better next time there is a uh any kind of major confrontation. Best
So do we
to
see the like Tony Stark working on a new suit scene of like Black Mirror with like the schematics up on the wall of like the
yeah,
different sketches and that kind of thing?
absolutely.
Very cool, very cool. And that's like a more contemplative scene is like you maybe that sort of like also thinking about heat sink, right? Like you that sort of like they protected me and now she's like this, that sort of like mindset going into it or I mean you tell me, it's your character.
I mean, I think that's correct. Like well, hmm. I would say that that sounds good. Like going into it like you described.
Alrighty. If there's anything more you want to add, feel free. But in that case, we're gonna circle back around Zeitgeist. Give me a cool scene.
All right, I'll say during like a fight with the ID&I, like somewhere like out in the wash, Zeit tapped into
Mm-hmm.
a really strange power, but he's definitely using it to his advantage. So you see him like just posing, taking a selfie with like two like teenage fans, but in the background you just see the ID&I guys stuck in what seems to be a liquid street as it starts to harden around them.
Alrighty, hell yeah. I think we see a moment of you actually getting the chain power to work. As I know that's been something you're pushing for, and I think it makes sense here, like with your like recent tapping into it. So I think we just get a bunch of cool scenes of you using a bunch of different powers. Any others you want to like touch on?
Probably like a at least some form of like elemental power. So like fire or ice or maybe lightning.
Alrighty, hell yeah. Which do you think it is?
I'll go with lightning.
Lightning, hell yeah, makes sense. Alrighty, well, and I think we'll then. Is there any more you wanna add for a cool moment for S.U.I.T?
No, I would say like again, kind of being showy and like just doing his best to overachieve is kind of the norm for him. So this is pretty much what it looks like usually.
Alrighty, well, in that case, we will then move to Spinner. Cool scene.
Is it fucked up that my first thought for a cool scene was also fucked up for Spinner?
Hell yeah.
I think we see her effectively taking her anger out on ID&I soldiers, and it's like half a like exercise in this is what you should do to a fascist, and half an exercise in I'm really emotional and this is a wonderful valid outlet. I think it's like less her trying out like new wrestling moves and more just kind of like showing up like in a crowd of just like goons and just going to fucking town.
Hell yeah. Just I leave him bloody and broken on the ground behind you as you move through. I think we see some like, really brutal frames of some of the like ways that you just cuz the way you fight is much more like I'm a scrappy brawler, right? Like you don't have a power in the same way. So it's a lot of just like teleporting into convenient positions to do just really like brutal arm snaps and that kind of thing. So we're seeing like bone pop out of an elbow and that kind of shit, I imagine.
I think I'll take it a step further for you.
Oh yeah, fucking bring it.
Kind of like Grav has just said, it's really akin to hunting these guys for sport. I think beyond just taking her anger out, like there's the level of her that's really frustrated emotionally with everything that's happening in herself. And then there's the level of her that's like really, I think she thinks more about like Chris's plight than she wants to, because I think she genuinely does think that in a good world, in a good place, that guy would be able to do a lot of good because he wouldn't be kneecapped by being attached to like this whole fucked up shit that's going on, right? He'd be able to just be a good guy. And I think she gets really frustrated that there are good people who have to become complicated people because they are like born into situations and systems like that. And then that just fuels fire into the furnace of like her general like anarchist rage that she feels. And that kind of turns into her really wanting to become like a Grim Reaper mythos against like the lesser ranks of these motherfuckers. So like, yeah, people are really scared of Ryder because Ryder's really fast and Ryder hits really hard and you can't really see him coming. People are really fucking scared of Spinner because she'll just show up with a brick out of nowhere and you'll be down.
So I'm gonna have for the two of you, because I'd like rolls for these, just to kind of there's no real failure, but Zeitgeist, I'd like you to roll Unleash Your Powers, because that's what you're doing. Spinner, I'd like you to roll Directly Engage a Threat.
Absolutely.
I thought you were gonna be like, Spinner, I'd like you to roll for Brick.
Yeah.
Spinner, can
I'd
you
like you to roll Brick?
Can you brick for me real quick?
That's a full hit for me.
That's a
I'm
full
bricked
hit
up.
for me
Sorry,
too,
I had to say
baby.
it.
Amazing. I You so successfully, I'm going to say that on a pick 2, you resist or avoid their blows for directly engage. So you avoid their blows and you frighten the opposition. So I will say, moving forward, and you can write this down. You can write influence over IDNI mooks.
Oh hell yeah.
For you, Zeitgeist,
Mm-hmm.
you aren't. How do you think your jacket gets repaired and your powers return? Do you think it's like you wake up one day like hoping that it's like that, or like you tell me?
I think it really was a matter of being back in the Foggy Bottom and connecting with his roots, because in the Foggy Bottom is where he spent the most time, where the people most believe in him. So I just woke up in the morning feeling like refreshed and probably with a better, more confident than usual, as if he's kind of riding off the vibes of the people there, and probably spent at least a good like few days of the week sneaking out to the Foggy Bottom to make sure everyone's taken care of there.
Yeah, I think the thing maybe that like really makes you like fills you with a little bit of that joy is people in the street recognizing you again. That's like, oh, Spinner, can I get a picture? Or not Spinner? Oh, Zeitgeist, can I get a picture with you? I can, and maybe even someone does bring up Spinner. Is like, can you introduce me to Spinner? I'm such a big fan, and they literally say, of the two of you, and there's that moment of like, oh, it's not just me, and I think for the first time you meet a fan of the Vigilantes, of you guys as a group, one, I think they come up to you and they're like, uh oh, I'm gonna be that bitch. I think while you're traveling towards the northern side of Foggy Bottom, you come across, there's like a little like food shop, like maybe like a little kebab like stall of that kind of thing, that you're stopping by, and this little girl with a rider doll, like a bubble rider doll, actually kind of walks up to you and goes and kind of tugs on your sleeve and gives you the uh, hello, Mr. Zeitgeist.
Oh yeah,
Uh, is it true that you work with Ryder?
seen that. I sure do.
And they kind of squeeze the bubble rider a little bit closer. Can you tell her I say hi?
He'll like float down to her, get like basically he has to like float like on his stomach to be like head level with her probably. But he'll be like, I can do you one better, as he'll click the little like apparatus on the side of his head and pull up a video screen and just pull up Ryder with zero warning.
Ryder, you see the neighbor's kid.
Oh,
Hi.
okay.
And then the moment she says hi and gets excited, there's that like flush from the face as she gets embarrassed, and then just kind of hides behind the bubble rider doll.
Zeit will just kind of like again play it up, be like, "Hey Ryder, I found your like biggest fan in the city. Do you want to say hi?"
Oh, yeah. She'll kind of walk over, and like crouch down, and just kind of like poke the the bubble to get the attention of it.
I love the idea of, because you were called, and so I love the idea of you pulling out the phone and being like 1 second, and there's a like,
Yeah,
poof,
just
and you are
yeah,
there.
yeah, absolutely. For fans, absolutely.
And she kind of hides behind it, and it just let, like, when you pop the bubble, it lets out a little bit of a squeak, and the parents come over and kind of seeing this whole interaction. And the one of the parents kind of recognizes you and goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." She's just really excited.
It's okay. No need to be sorry. And she'll just kind of like do a little wave.
The parents the kind of usher her away. Is like, "No, come on, they're busy. They're busy. They're superheroes, honey. They gotta go save people." Oh, I'm so okay. Bye. As they're getting kind of dragged away by their parents, and kind of leaves you two on the street for a moment.
I'm happy they're
You're
Uh,
okay.
starting, What was
Yeah,
that?
go ahead.
She just said, "I'm happy they're okay."
Oh, did you have to see him before?
They live in my complex. After the whole explosion thing happened, and then everything going on now, I'm just happy they're okay.
Yeah. Not a lot of the suits regularly make it down here. It's still an ACAP, like a reclamation zone, so they have jurisdiction. They're not used to seeing like folks like us.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And oh, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you go ahead. You go ahead, Vaughn. I didn't mean to cut off again.
Okay. He just kind of like puts his, while still floating, like he just puts his hands behind his back. It's always good to make sure everyone knows that there's no such thing as a little person, and that there's always someone out there looking out for someone. That's why I like it here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ryder, where did
Mhm.
you? What was your cool moment? It could have been where you came from just now, or it could have been another moment during these 3 days.
Um, huh. I mean, if there's like I say that she's probably like a being more like keeping an eye on everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when she knows like everyone's asleep
Yeah.
or like everyone's like okay, she's just running around everywhere, looking for her writer friend in quotations.
Roll me. Okay, I'll give you a choice.
Mhm.
I'll give you actually a question,
Yeah,
which leads to a choice.
yeah.
If you found them, how do you feel it would go? Would it be like immediate engagement, or would you try to talk with them?
Um, talk.
Talk with them. I would
Yeah,
like you to roll unleash your powers then.
understand. Um, who? Alright, um, then that's with 8 + 3. So I didn't need to permanently change that. I just want the situational bonus. There we go.
Ye-
Fuck.
Well, here's what I'm going to say.
Mhm.
I'm not going to ask you to mark a condition this time for this specifically, partially
Okay.
because it's a called roll and not an action roll.
Mhm.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you. I'm going to use the move. Tell you the possible consequences and ask.
Mhm.
Which in this case means so the reason why I had you roll unleash your powers is whether or not you find them during this time,
Mhm.
and kind of arbitrating briefly how that interaction would go. And when you find them, when you do, because you are fast enough too,
Mhm.
I will say you may chase after them to potentially have that conversation, but it could have much more dire consequences than you were expecting, or you find them, try to talk to them, and lose them, but have a hint as to where to like look next moving forward.
The hint is probably more ideal.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I think you find them. And in what way do you where do you find them? Is it like in a scenic moment, or is it like you kind of catch them running around? Like what do you imagine that sort of like moment,
I
and what do you say to them?
I think that they have a route
Mm-hmm.
like very similar to how I might have of just like scouting
Yeah.
that I happen to know because it's good to know when like which way another speedster is going so you don't just like car crash into them.
Yeah,
I
they
feel
almost like a pattern that the two of
yeah.
you sort of default to, and you
Mhm.
sort of start tracking what you would imagine their pattern would be, almost in reverse. That sort of energy.
Yeah.
I think when you,
Just from memory.
yeah, okay. When you do find them, what do you say to them?
Oh, I gotta think of something good. I gotta think of something good.
Do you wanna hold
Um,
on to that for a second?
yeah.
Okay,
Let me
okay.
cook something.
You cook on something. Black Mirror, I want to know what your cool moment was.
God, it would probably be just like finishing the project. I'm like,
I will give you the choice now as we would see Black Mirror kicking ass in the suit, but there are two ways we can do this. We can uh, we can say Black Mirror kicking ass in the suit, and we see it, and you can describe it right now, or we can say we see Black Mirror kicking ass in the suit, but every shot is framed in such a way where we see the devastating effects of you in it, but not necessarily what it looks like to give you time to cook on that design.
yeah, I'm gonna have to draw it.
In which case, why don't you give us a brief description of what Black Mirror, or what maybe the kind of like abilities you gave it, if any, or just kind of like how we see you engaging with it. Like, are you using it more defensively, more offensively, more utilitously, like that sort of thing?
It would definitely be something to more protect her than give her an offensive capability. Uh, because that's like her one big thing. It's like, she's kind of made of paper in the superhero universe. So the suit would be primarily to prevent what has happened in earlier fights of essentially just like crippling her from like singular attacks. Would be the primary function of it. Uh, I'd have to
So I think,
stew on whether or not it gets anything extra, but for the moment, that's its
yeah,
primary function.
I think we see a silhouette of you walking up on a group of ID&I mooks, in a similar situation to where like where Spinner is, where like you as a group are engaging just a like large number of them. They're they're at some sort of facility of some kind. You guys just like go to kick some ass. The as they like turn towards you, they like pull out weapons and they give you that like freeze sort of thing. We just see this sort of silhouette at you facing towards them, maybe just the shot over the shoulder. I think we see the reflection as you fix your glasses really quickly. They all like fire at you, and we see you just like raise an arm. We're not going to describe what it is that you use to defend yourself, but uh, then there we flash to like Spinner kicking a bunch of ass, then back to Black Mirror, and it's just they're just like on the floor. They're either wrapped up because you like came up with a device, drew up a device to kind of like wrap them up, or they're just beat down. And we'll kind of leave that nebulous for now as we give you some time to cook on what you want that to do and what you want that to be.
Okay. It sounds good to me.
Unless, yeah, sounds great to me. Is there anything more you want to add, Skelly?
Not particularly. I'm currently drafting ideas in my brain.
Hell yeah. Give Skelly an art project? Hell yeah.
Give me homework. God damn.
Oh yeah, like oh no. Amazing, amazing. You good, Ryder? You ready to cook?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, Still remember it like the back of my hand.
You find them at the end of one of their routes as they kind of skid to a stop near one of the bays where they would look out over it after doing the loop. You
Mhm.
already being there are just sort of waiting, and they look up at you. There's the kind of like twinkling of lights sort of reflecting from the city off on their sort of chrome-like exterior. At least on like the like more more futuristic parts of their suit. Getting a better look at them now, you notice that there have been a bunch of modifications made to the suit. It is no longer just the rider suit as you remember it. And in addition to that, you see when they look at you almost like some like servos and mechanisms working underneath to assist their movement. But they look towards you. Oh. Let's see if your speed remains as good as your memory. And darts off over the water. I assume you follow?
Yeah, I sure do.
You follow, and you follow, and you see them, you feel them slowly picking up speed till it starts to approach the point where you remember them disappearing. And that is where I will say that's where that choice is. That's where those consequences are. The hint or the consequences. And choosing the hint, you see them run. They're moving not necessarily in a specific pattern. They're just increasing speed. So it's almost like elliptical, like the way that you slingshot something around gravity. And you notice that they're actually circling around the dimensional rift, almost using it like a marker or like a ground for them. And as they disappear into that sort of speed space, for lack of a term to call it, you feel almost like a gravitational pull towards the dimensional rift. And I will give you that. You already kind of made the choice, but I'll give you a chance once more if you wish to change it. Not necessarily saying you should or you have to, but do you stop as you feel the pull towards the rift?
I know that there's people here and now that I have to take care of, and that I know who this person is, and I'm going to see them again, just due to the nature of who we are. So I'll resist the pull.
You slowly skid to a stop as you realize where it is that they disappear to when you lose them. You also, I think, in this moment learn, as part of the hint, that this dimensional rift, it might have more benefit to the IDNI than just being how they were brought here. And I think it's as you're doing that, as you're kind of like that moment of like, okay, you made the choice, you're staying here for them. And then there's a like alert coming from your device. And it is it is specifically a signal that's like return to the house. For Zeitgeist, who said that he would be by the bed a lot. The room in which you are at with heatsink begins fluctuating heavily in temperature. It gets really hot and then really cold, like being in a Phoenix summer all the way to an Anchorage winter in like minutes back and forth. The alert goes off, and from the locker, not from the locker room, I would say the suits employee who's been stationed here to kind of help medically take care of them immediately sort of like gets up, and they move over towards kind of maybe pushing you aside if they need to, but they move over towards heat sink where they're resting and their IV is, and you see them open a like drawer, like unlatch some medical stuff and attach something to their IV bag before the temperature starts to equalize much more controlled in the room, and the person starts to and you breathe really heavy as their eyes sort of start to blink. And as heat sink comes to consciousness, that's where we're leaving the session for today.
Okie dokie.
Oh man.
Now we need to change your name to Iron Mirror.
I am Iron
Iron Maiden.
Man. Ooh, that is good.
that goes hard. That does go really hard.
Mirror Maiden also fucks.
Ooh. I see the vision.
Or if you want to go 90s style hero, you could be Mirror Force.
That is very 90s style. Whew. Thank y'all. Thank you, my lovely, wonderful players, for being here, for backing me up, for telling awesome stories with me.
Thank you for running.
Yeah, of course.
Guys, we've made it past the day.
Yeah.
We did make it past the year-long day.
Now we just have to time travel back.
Fuck no!
That's where the door opens up to.
The beginning of day one.
Starting to get really Code Lyoko in here.
That is
Oh,
starting to
Lord.
get really Code Lyoko in here.
Holy
Don't say that they're already bringing the series back.
Yep. Well, that's why I said it.
They're what?
What do you mean they're bringing it back? It
Oh yeah,
never
the entire
left.
production team is like making a sequel.
Sick.
It never left.
Yeah, it's like everybody that worked on it before is now once again working on it. Like
Everyone
What the
said that
hell?
Avatar was the first anime from the West. Nah, Code Lyoko was.
I'm so sorry. There was another show. I'm never gonna remember the name of it, but it was like these dudes and they rode like motorcycles that like flew and they lived in like a giant treehouse. I'll never remember the fucking name of it, but it was awesome.
Fair enough. I that kind of does remind me of Martin Mystery.
Yeah.
The show that no one remembers that was like sort of anime, sort of Scooby-Doo.
I can't not know it because it's canonical to the Totally Spies universe.
It is, in fact, canonical to Totally
It's
Spies.
well, you know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I was about to say it's what, and then I was like, this is not worth my brain space.
Listen, we love Martin Mystery in this house, even if it isn't good.
I'm more of a Kappa Mikey enjoyer.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. Not a really. You're not a teenage robot mutant. What's the fucking monkey?
My
one?
life as a
Super
teenage
Monkey
robot.
No, Super
Oh.
Robot Monkey Force,
Yeah.
Hyper Team Ultra Force Go, I think.
Yeah, Super Robot Monkey Force Hyper Team Go or some shit like that. Like it is. Yeah.
Yeah, Super Robot Monkey Team Hyper Force Go.
Hell yeah.
Though Bubba does point out it's off-brand for you, Punky. You can't hate the show that has a caveman in it.
I hate it explicitly because it has a false represent. It is false idolatry. It has fake grug.
Rip Grug.
Fake drug.
Fake
You
Grug
fuck
and
Grug.
Pond Woman.
Fake grug and Pond Woman is that's exactly why I hate it.
Freak woman.
They're not powerful enough to have River Lady, and they don't have Grug. Yeah, can we get some frogs in chat for Grug?
Grok and Creek woman.
We got it. We can't.
Brook Lady.
But oh, I just remembered something. We still gotta do the after session.
do.
Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding me.
This almost turned into the
am
Grugcast
shit
again.
about remembering this.
Don't worry, I always forget until I realize I need to put the screen back.
I've got a thing for it on like it's part of my outros for Threadbare, but because I'm not hosting, I completely just was like, oh yeah, I don't have to worry about it. I will try to blow through this. Zeitgeist, closer, image of yourself, away.
I would say he grew into his image of himself more in this one because he spent a lot of time self-reflecting.
One label up and another down. Spinner,
Okay.
closer, image, away.
This is hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think image.
Image.
I think she,
yeah, it makes
I
sense.
think she sees herself as a bit scary and intimidating, and I think given that she is becoming a grim reaper of sorts, that that kind of fits.
I like that. I like that. Well, one label up and another down. Shift your labels as you see fit. Writer, closer, image, away.
Probably, probably closer.
Closer.
I think
Who
spending
made you
some
feel
of that.
welcome?
Hmm.
Also, I cut you off. Spending some of that.
Oh yeah, I think spending some of those days with Black Mirror and Sight definitely grounded her
Yeah.
a bit when she really needed it. So I think if in that time of like being in the space where Heatsig was, I think
Yeah.
it was probably Zeit this time.
Zeit, do you have influence over Writer already?
I do.
You do.
I thought
In
so.
that case, but if you have influence over and you would gain it again, you Zeitgeist may choose to shift one of their labels up and another down. You don't have to, but you may choose to.
I will leave them as is.
And then Writer, you may either clear condition or mark potential.
I'm gonna clear conditions. I got 3 of
Fair
those
enough.
right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I know your pain.
Yeah, I think. Let's see. Fuck.
Well, you can
the
think
ones to
about that.
Yeah, I think it'll be I'll remove insecure.
Alrighty.
I still have guilty and angry.
Guilty and angry. That makes sense. That makes
Mhm.
sense. Black Mirror.
I would say, as she's doing her best to improve herself for any incoming like
Image of
conflicts and stuff, and it's like improving image of
Yeah.
oneself.
Well, we explain how you see yourself and why, which is like improving yourself, wanting to be better, wanting to strengthen yourself, wanting to actually hold your own. I think that makes a lot of sense that you've described previously. Is there any more you want to add to that?
I guess she just wants to be less of a. Just do what she can to be less of a liability in combat.
Less of a liability. It makes sense. Reminder, you can always clear conditions through roleplay actions. Each of them has a roleplay action associated with it. For example, angry, you can hurt someone or break something important. So saying something mean would literally do that. Like if you are hurtful to another team member. Like there are a bunch of ways that you can do that. So when we come to the next session, if some of you are wanting to clear some conditions, I'll set aside some role play time at the beginning for you too.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do you think me choosing to not follow that writer would be making a sacrifice?
Making a sacrifice to absolve your
Yeah,
guilt.
because it is
Hmm.
something that she really wanted to do.
You cleared insecure, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I will say this.
Mhm.
That could have been you searching for him. Could have been take foolhardy action without talking to your team, especially because you said you did it when everyone else was
Yeah.
asleep. And then you could clear a condition, and it could be one of
Okay.
the other conditions.
Okay.
So same functionally, very similar
Yeah.
functional, but slightly different mechanics.
Okay.
In which, getting really quickly back to Black Mirror, Black Mirror explained how you see yourself, which you did. Shift one label up and another down.
Ready?
And that'll be it for us today.
I have one more question. I'm so sorry.
Of course, baby.
Can I clear angry because I hurt somebody?
I don't think you know what? I'm gonna be that bitch. The idea they're pigs, not people.
Yep. Fuck, I knew you were gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah,
it, and I
yeah.
knew I couldn't disagree. That's fair. That's fair.
You have to
Hurt-
actually hurt
somebody
someone
who
important.
means something.
Yeah, I think it means hurt someone important or break something important.
You have to
Like, I
care
think
about
that's-
what you
yeah.
hurt in order for it
Yeah,
to like
yeah,
work.
exactly.
And let's all be real. I don't give a shit about hurting fascists.
Exactly. Let's go.
Actually, that's not true. I do give a shit. It makes me feel great.
Yeah, you know what? Based on what? Incredible violence. But thank you all for being here today. Thank you for having us be here, Vaughn. Thank you for hosting. And thank you to my lovely players.
Of course. Shall we de-introduce ourselves?
I'll go first. I'm Leah. You can find me at I'm using Thalia on pretty much anywhere. I do TTRPGs and games. Passing it to you, Clary.
Whoa! Hello, everybody. It's me, Punky.
Sorry. I keep fucking doxing you lately. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Unfucking believable. It's not like anyone else has ever called me by my name on my channel, including myself. I thought you were gonna say sorry because you were incepting. Hello, everybody. It's me, Markiplier.
Hello, everybody. It's Markiplier.
Because I say hello, everybody now, and I say it in kind of the same cadence. Anyway, I'm Punky. I stream on my own channel. Find me there, twitch.tv/punky_o_o. We do variety. I'm going to be playing a lot of Minecraft. I'm searching for a new game to play since I finished Mina the Hollower. We're going to figure that out tomorrow. But I'm probably going to play Michael Punk while I'm trying to figure that out. Maybe we'll do Next Fest demos. Who knows? I'm here every other Sunday. I am here on Vaughn's channel again on Tuesdays for Paper Mario. I'm with Leah on my channel, streaming with Gaius and Leah and Zan and Distortion Devil, doing some Barrow Trauma. And every other Saturday, I'm at Tix Dixel's channel doing The Lost and the Found. If you like me, if you like my friends, you should follow me, and you'll see a lot more of me and them as we make a lot of really crass jokes and talk about putting fascists 10 feet under. I'm gonna throw it over to Skelly.
Oh my god, what is up, y'all? It's me, Skelly Alpha. You can find me on Twitch, Blue Sky, and as of tomorrow, YouTube, under the same names. Tomorrow's the big 3D model debut. If I can get this last thing or three finagled right, I should have enough time. Paper Mario returns next week on Tuesday. I have a couple collabs stuff scheduled. It's pretty much scheduled returns as it was before the surgery. That's really it for me. I'll be posting the schedule right after stream, and I'll pass it over to Molly.
Hi, I'm Retrospectacles, or Momo. I have been your lovely writer with my lovely friends. You can find me at Blue Sky, at Retrospectacles. I draw stuff sometimes, and I'm here every other week to be Holly and your writer. Yeah, thank you for having me. I'll pass it over to, I guess, Mom now.
Why, thank you. Hi, you've already found me here at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on Blue Sky and YouTube at Burnout Vaughn, over on Patreon, Burnout's Bar. like we've said, we've got Paper Mario coming back on Tuesday, so definitely look forward to that. We've got shenanigans a-brewing. But following that, hopefully I will have less random pains and sickness this week, so I can get back to playing more Mega Man Battle Network and probably clear the first game, hopefully. So yeah, keep an eye on that. I need to hop back in and, well, jack it back in, I believe the phrase would be. But yeah, keep an eye out for that, and I will keep you posted as streams come down on the blue sky. But with that out of the way, since the first stream I saw Skellion today involved one of our good friends and shared friends, one Blue Kazanate, I think we're going to go raid their game that's currently going on, if I can spell their very long name correctly. I thought I had set, it did not, so I need to retype that.
That guy said he was gonna jack it earlier. Did anybody else hear that?
What the hell?
Oh, I love a jacket. I'm cold.
Gonna check in, maybe execute a little.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe a battle routine.
Jack in, execute,
Maybe a set.
Mega Man, jack off.
What?
I might have spent at least a minute talking about where it says, hey, you can jack into this vase.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Dang, this face
No,
is
no, it's
unjackable.
Alright, let's did this work? There it goes. Alright, so what should be our raid message?
I don't fucking blame you with that.
A
name.
jack in.
God damn.
Jack in, baby.
Alright, yeah. Jack in. Everyone, thanks for coming out. We will see you again soon. Thank you. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.